be their first. And they take it relatively early in this game with 11:28 left to go here in the first quarter. Once again, Alex Westhead with you here high atop Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in the shadows of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 4 games scheduled here in Canton, Ohio this weekend. The Division II game coming up later tonight on this exact same station that you are watching right now between the Mile High Blaze and the Derby City Dynamite. What figures to be a very offensively heavy game. And I'm very excited to see that as well. Brian Sweeney and Donna Wilkinson will be on the call for that one. Then tomorrow, the All-American game kicking off at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll be on the call back once more for that one. And then the big one, the WFA Pro Division Championship, a rematch of last year's championship game between the Boston Renegades and the Minnesota Vixen. I'll be with Brian Sweeney for that one. And of course, Lois Cook and Donna Wilkinson down on the sideline. So punt formation back again for Oklahoma City defensively. Back to return to Myra Sweet, who returned the kickoff. A nice return on that one for 15 yards as the field possession battle begins. High snap on the punt, got it away. Great pressure by OKC on the punt by Emily DeCenzo. As this ball will take a friendly roll for Capital City. It's downed by the wide receiver Jessica Weeks for Capital City, and that's where the Lady Force will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line here with 11:19 left to go in this opening quarter of play. So when we take a look at it here, the Massey rating says there's a player being attended to here on the sideline for OKC back behind the formation as Damaris Guerra, OKC's linebacker, Purcell High School. Now walking back to the sideline with her own power.
Formation on the kicking team.
A penalty assessed as well.
First down.
As it'll be a legal formation on Capital City that will allow the ball to be moved back up further to the 29-yard line for Capital City to start playing defense on that side of the ball. As you see Guerra working back to the sideline under her own power. The Massey ratings are used by the Women's Football Alliance here to determine between teams that do not play each other regularly what the potential likelihood of that matchup would be. Oklahoma City's 14th overall. Capital City 11th overall. Here on first down, rush to the outside edge as Jeffries on a nice carry. Able to get close to it, but another injury this time for Capital City as Lauren Ward attended to on the far sideline. This will be an official timeout for the treatment there. We'll step aside here for a moment. No score between Capital City and Oklahoma City here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
Injury timeout here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. No score between the Capital City Savages and the Oklahoma City Lady Force here in the early stages of the first quarter. Alex Westhead with you here as the injury timeout continues as Capital City Savages linebacker Lauren Ward continues to receive treatment on the OKC sideline. Again, you see a nice crowd here in attendance from all across the country and all across the landscape of women's football. And 66 teams all across the country, including expansions into Canada, as a team based out of Ontario. Also the beginning of the Women's Football Alliance International Edition. Of course, throughout Latin and South America, lots of potential in this league and in the teams soon to be followed here. Once more, Division II later tonight. Derby City out of Louisville, Kentucky, and the Mile High Blaze out of Denver, Colorado will be the Division II championship game. And of course, Boston and Minnesota, the WFA Pro Division game coming up tomorrow afternoon, featured as well by an All-American game tomorrow morning between the American and the National Conference. Conferences, of course, split in half. The American Conference tends to be west of the Mississippi River, and the National Conference tends to be on the east side of it, but there's a few teams that play tag with that river, of course, on both conferences. New this year to the Women's Football Alliance was the developmental program, the lowest tier in the Women's Football Alliance, which allowed for teams to be able to have a little bit of a farm system, have a little bit of a team that allows players to develop and become better as time moves on, so that way they can play in these big games and play for the bigger teams in their area, including the Minnesota Minx, the farm team, so to speak, of the Minnesota Vixen, and also teams like the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards, the Cincinnati Sizzle, and other teams here throughout Ohio. Expansion planned as well in the Women's Football Alliance. Many more teams coming in next year to continue to expand the great program that has become the Women's Football Alliance all across the country in the landscape of women's professional football. Capital City Savages began their history in the Flint, Michigan area before expanding into Lansing in 2017. Of course, you take a look at the Capital City Savages this year, 6-2, first in the National Conference in the Massey ratings. They advanced to this game by virtue of playoff victories, 14-0 over Virginia, and then traveled to Carolina to take on the Phoenix and won 42-6 against Carolina to make it here to this championship game. On the other side, the Oklahoma City Lady Force, first in the American Conference, 14th overall in the Massey ratings, 33-6 win over the Iowa Phoenix out of Des Moines, and a 24-2 win at home against the Arizona Outcast, who were here as part of the Division III championship last year, but fell 30-20 to the Derby City Dynamite, who are now moved up to the Division II area. Once more, those Massey ratings, as we'll take us another pause here as the injury timeout continues. No score here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Capital City and Oklahoma City, here on your home for Women's Football Alliance.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, you know, if you join, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
We, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're going to get these.
You know, Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
Back for football here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, 2nd and 9 for the Oklahoma City Lady Force. As the ball's at their own 30-yard line as Lauren Ward carted off on the far sideline. Here's a dart down the left side of the field, thrown, and almost a catch by Justine McSwain on the left side. Falls incomplete, covered well by Capital City's Haley Zarkowski from Oswasso, Michigan, St. Charles High School. Just a great play defensively on that coverage. And a wonderful pass by Desiree Jeffries. Found that streaking wide receiver, Justine McSwain. Unfortunately for OKC, fell incomplete, but what coverage by Capital City as well. Here's 3rd and 9. For the OKC Lady Force, they're 0 for 1 on 3rd downs today. If you're joining us late, both teams with 3 and outs on their opening drives. Both teams have played tag right around midfield. Here's 3rd and 9. The line to gain is a 39-yard line on the OKC side of the field. Jeffries at quarterback for Oklahoma City, dropping back. Takes a pass to the left side. Will roll out to the right side now, trying to navigate something. Pressure comes, and wrapping her up for the big sack is the Capital City Savages, Danielle Gauthier. Godair third on Capital City with 30 tackles this year, including 3 for loss. She had 2 sacks in the regular season for a team that had 10 sacks all regular season. A great rollout here by Jeffries, trying to navigate. You see her targeting that wide receiver down and deep, but just ran out of field and ran out of time. As a quarterback, got to know to throw, when to throw that football away, as that's one that you wanted to see thrown away towards the sideline there as a huge loss. 10 yards on the loss will set OKC back to their own 20-yard line, and what will have to be punt formation coming up here for OKC. So here's Taylor to punt. Will take a friendly roll for OKC, but it'll roll and be down there by Jessica Weeks inside the 50-yard line. So Capital City got the defensive stop that they needed here. And in fact, forced loss, net loss for OKC on the drive was a great 9 yards. Now negative on the day so far, OKC. So Capital City with great field position here and the opportunity to take a lead in this football game here with 9:57 remaining in the opening quarter of play. Best field position for either team so far is now 3 3-and-outs for both of these offenses. The Massey ratings projected this score would be 20-13 Capital City, and a Capital City win percentage of 69%. Two-back formation now for quarterback Kyla Wilson. As we'll have a whistle that'll blow. There was movement on the line. It'll be a false start assessed to Capital City. So now both teams with a 5-yard penalty assessed to them. Actually, correction, 2 penalties now assessed to Capital City.
We have a dead ball.
For the illegal formation on their last
5-yard
punt.
penalty. Replay first
And now
down.
here on this one. So backing up 5 yards back onto their side of the field will be 1st and 15 from the 46-yard line. 2 penalties now for 10 yards for Capital City. And for their head coach, Andre Broach, his second season 10-5 record. Mentioned holds a semi-pro football record, 332 rushing yards in a game in 2009. It's 3rd most all time. On first down, right back to the line of scrimmage there. Not much doing on it. 2nd and 15 now. So Brittany Adams able to get going, trying to stay on schedule. Sets up 2nd down and 15. It's an area here where we may see Capital City start to throw the football a little bit more. Mentioned 3rd best in WFA's Division III and 123.3 passing yards per game, 11th most in the WFA overall. 2nd and 15. Nice move by Brittany Adams, but not much more from that to escape the first tackler. But the second one, Shabria Irby from Oklahoma City, Newcastle High School, able to make a great tackle on that play. Sets up 3rd and 15. 2 All-Americans for OKC, Justine McSwain at free safety, Shabria Irby at defensive end. You see why there, as Irby with just a fantastic tackle, did not lose the running back Brittany Adams. So here's 3rd and 15. We sit now 8:40 and counting here in the first quarter of play. No score between Capital City and Oklahoma City here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Neither team yet to successfully run a play on the opponent's side of the field. A defensive showing here so far in the early going. Pistol formation now. Kyla Wilson. Wilson dropping back, rolling to the right side, puts up a shot. This ball is intercepted. Great read by Oklahoma City, and they'll take over on the interception, recovered beautifully by Elizabeth Jones. 1st and 10 for OKC. On the replay, Wilson, great job rolling out. But right to a little bit short of the intended receiver, Jessica Weeks. As a result, Oklahoma City will take over. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Capital City 49-yard line. First turnover of the game for either side. And of course, turnovers so important here in championship affairs. Points off of turnovers as well. And that's where the defense for OKC and their 4.3 points per game average came to play today. Here's 1st and 10 from the 49 of the Savages. On the handoff to the right side, Tamira Sweet to the original line of scrimmage, maybe falling forward for a yard. So spot her at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 1. Second down and 9 now. Sweet gave all sorts of business to the attempted tackler there. A nice job on the wrap-up that time by Tiara Townsend for the Capital City Savages. Sets up second down and 9. OKC has won 5 straight championships from 2015 to 2019 in a different league. They lost to Iowa in the 2021 playoffs, avenged that loss in their opening round. They're looking for their first title in the Women's Football Alliance. And just their second season of play in this league. Second down and 9. A little bit of a trick play. Tamira Sweet on the direct snap, trying to race to the right side. Gained a yard before a flurry of Capital City Savages were able to complete the tackle there, led by Jasmine Lenoir. Now the tackle with a sack this season for the Capital City Savages. Sets up now 3rd and 8. So 3rd down now for Oklahoma City. They're 0 for 2 so far. Try to run on their last 3rd down. Playbook is open here. Rolling out to the left side, quarterback Desiree Jeffries will tuck it down. Jeffries rolling forward close to the first down marker, but they will spot her short by a yard to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 7 on 3rd down on the quarterback keeper by Desiree Jeffries. Puts it at 4th and 1, and the offense should stay on the field here for OKC. It's a great audible, great flexibility by Jeffries from OKC, Oklahoma City University, to tuck that ball down and run on the coverage by the Capital City Savages. So 4th and 1 here. And a big moment in this game. Just 1 yard to gain. Opens up your playbook for OKC. We saw the direct snap to Tamira Sweet. Also now know that Desiree Jeffries can carry the ball on her own. Jeffries actually the leading rusher for Oklahoma City this year. 64 carries, 396 yards. 2-back formation now. Hand off to the right side is Sweet. Sweet close to it. Got it. First down for the Oklahoma City Lady Force as they'll move the chains here. 1st and 10 now. The Savages 39-yard line. First down of the game for either team as OKC able to move the chains forward. And 4th and 1, that's a running play all the time. Sweet, great job to carry and be aware of where the chains were. Didn't try to do too much. Just moved the chains, kept the ball moving. Defensively for Capital City, 10th best in Division III with 10.7 points per game, 16th best in the WFA overall. Average for the WFA is about 21, 22 points per game. 1st and 10 for OKC from the 39-yard line. Dropping back to the pass, Jeffries. Jeffries flushed out of the pocket here nicely by Tiki Malone for OKC. Navigating traffic once more. Picks up a key block to the original line of scrimmage, but not much further there. As the stout defense of the Capital City Savages, Ashaya Paxton from Flint, Michigan, able to contain the quarterback for the Lady Force. 2nd down and 10. Vicenzo gets the assist on the tackle as well for Capital City. Tiki Malone, leader in Capital City's tackling department, 39.5 on the defensive line, 7 tackles for loss this season. Looks like OKC, knowing where their passing statistics are, 38.5 yards per game through the air, 18th in Division III. Seem to be going to the air a lot. Here's 2nd down and 10 from the 39. Jeffries at quarterback. Throwing over the middle, pass complete. Oh no, incomplete. Beautiful connection to Brianna Hahn for the OKC Lady Force. And just well read on the interruption by Jessica Weeks from Flushing, Michigan. And did a great job to read that ball. Well timed on the attempt to knock it out of the hands of the receiver. Hahn now sets up 3rd down. Perfect on the money throw to Hahn. Just a great job by Weeks of getting that in there, forcing that incomplete. So now another 3rd down for OKC. They're 0 for 4 now, 0 for 3, excuse me, on 3rd down so far today. Here, 3:56 remaining in the first quarter of play in this Division III championship game. First of 4 from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium on this beautiful July weekend in Ohio. On third down, a little quick hitter to the flat. Justine McSwain, nothing there. Great tackling by the Capital City Savages. As a gain of 2 yards on the play. And a well tackled by Danielle Godere from Grand Valley State. After the gain of 2 yards to the 37-yard line, sets up another 4th down. So the punt formation once more. Here for OKC, back deep to receive Jessica Weeks with that great defensive play to force that incompletion. So it'll be punt formation once more. Chelsea Taylor, the linebacker, handling punting duties today for the Lady Force. Gets the punt away, high in the air. Can be fielded there cleanly by Jessica Weeks. Weeks trying to escape. No, thank you. What a job on special teams by Kaya Quinones, the defensive back from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Edmond Memorial High School. Great special teams play by Quinones to say no thank you to Jessica Weeks on the return and pin Capital City back deep. Elizabeth Jones got the first hand on her, but the pursuit by Kaya Quinones with a great job to force Capital City back. So now after the Savages started their last drive with the best field position, the drive started in OKC territory, forcing them back as a result of the false start penalty. Gave them the best field position of either team today. Now the worst field position of the game for either team. As Capital City starts 1st and 10 from their own 10. This is the area where we may see Oklahoma City dial up the blitz here. We know that the Lady Force have struggles inside their own 20. Perhaps they'll be able to get them here. Flag flies on the near sideline. We'll see which way this goes. The OKC defensive line moved, but if they were drawn offside, it looks like that's what it may be, as it will be another false start penalty against the Capital City Savages. Now 3 penalties for 15 yards, and all 3 of the penalties procedural items. So for Andre Broach, certainly wants to clean that up here so far. Hasn't hurt him too much yet. So now from 1st and 10 to 1st and 15 from the 5-yard line. Receiver in motion across the formation. On the handoff, trying to follow the blocking that time. Brittany Adams back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. As good job on the defensive tackle there by Shabria Irby. Great tackles for loss so far for OKC. Sets up now 2nd down and 15. Line to gain is that 20-yard line. As this game continues to roll on here. Field position so important in this one. As they'll give her a yard gain on it to the 6-yard line. 2nd and 14. Across the formation, another flag flies and another false start for Capital City.
False start, number 63.
So now, in the first quarter, 4 penalties for 20 yards. All 5 procedural, all 4, procedural for Capital City. No penalties yet against Oklahoma City and the Lady Force, as that'll be a half the distance penalty flag that will set the ball at the 3-yard line. And the Savages, high-flying offense, starting to stall out a little bit here. On a pitch to the right side, trying to keep it going right at the goal line, but just getting back to the 1 on the carry was the running back, Brittany Adams, as the ball will be spotted now at the 1-yard line. So a loss of 2 on the play as that pitch to the right side to Adams. And how about that tackle? Quick to the ball, delivered by Justine McSwain. She's an All-American for a reason and showed why there. We'll have a stoppage here for a injured player on the Capital City Savages. We'll have a stoppage of the clock here, 1:57 remaining here in the first quarter. No score between Capital City and Oklahoma City Lady Force. Capital City out of the Lansing, Michigan area, the capital of the state of Michigan, and OKC obviously out of the Oklahoma City area. We mentioned Oklahoma City. It's their second season of WFA action. It's not the only team that's been in the history of Oklahoma City in women's professional football. The Oklahoma City Lady Dolls were founded in 1976 and stayed in operation until 1979 as the state's first women's professional football team. They were prolific with their success. They won almost every game, 32-4 all time, with 2 national championships back in the 70s. They ceased operations in 1979, but were the subject of a ABC television movie in 1981. And in the great coverage locally in Oklahoma City that they put together for this team, they certainly said, they asked the question, would you like to be focused in a movie too? And every single player that they interviewed said, absolutely, we'd love to be on a movie. The OKC Lady Force looking to cap off an undefeated season here with a victory in this one. Defensively, I mentioned the success of their defense, and they're showing it again here. Between their 2 seasons recorded in the Women's Football Alliance, they've allowed double-digit points just twice. And so far in this season's games, 8 games, they did not allow a touchdown in 6 of the 8 games that they played this season, but they only have 2 shutouts. Why? Safeties. They had allowed 3 safeties on offense this season, but had 2 other shutouts in there. Also some field goals allowed, which for the Women's Football Alliance does seem a little bit obscure. And we'll talk about that, of course, as time goes by on today's broadcast and, of course, tomorrow. So here's 3rd and forever from inside the 1-yard line. Wilson stepping up the pocket, throwing to the left side. Pass incomplete, well over the head of Jessica Weeks in coverage. Jasmine Guy defensively for OKC from Midwest City, Oklahoma, Langston University. And now forcing to punt here deep will be the Capital City Savages. And this should set up OKC with excellent field position as Capital City forced back very, very deep. Emily Basenzo on to punt, linebacker from Howell, Michigan, Grand Valley State University, standing at the Capital City 25-yard line is a returner to Myra Sweet. She's had returns of 10 yards on each of her kick opportunities here. And so this may be a critical opportunity in this game. As Basenzo gets the punt away, it's high in the air. It'll roll at the 25, taking a friendly bounce for Capital City, continuing to roll to the 35-yard line, as it will be touched by Jessica Weeks. And now Oklahoma City will start 1st and 10 from the Capital City 35-yard line as the battle for field position continues here with 1:29 remaining in the opening quarter of play. OKC on offense today. Their first 2 drives of the game started with punts, and they went 3 and out on their first 2 drives, picked up a first down on a 4th and 1 on their last drive before the offense stalled out again, punting on 4th down, pinning Capital City back inside the 10-yard line before 2 penalties forced them back further, and the Savages able to avoid the safety there. Empty backfield this time for Desiree Jeffries. 1st and 10 from the 35. With 1:29 remaining in this opening quarter. Pulls Tamira Sweet in closer. Jeffries evades pressure, rolling to the left side. Looks like she'll tuck it down and run, and stood up at the line. Helmet comes flying off on what a defensive effort by the Capital City Savages. And now a timeout for the injured Capital City player that started that play. We saw Jeffries get to it, and that first tackle, you see the stiff arm attempt as well by Jeffries, but Speaks with that great job before the helmet came off, as Tiki Malone provided the final effort to push her down. So Elizabeth Speaks attended to from Perry High School on the sideline. No gain on the play. It'll set up 2nd down and 10 upcoming here with 1:16 remaining in this opening quarter of play. From Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, in the shadows of the Pro Football Hall of Fame on a beautiful July afternoon here. You see Speaks jogging back to the sideline. Remember, if you're new to the Women's Football Alliance, NCAA rules are what's played. That's where they're using the far hash marks on the field. And other rules that the NCAA uses, you'll be able to see and recognize, of course, as the game goes on. So no gain on the last play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Desiree Jeffries out of the shotgun. 2 receivers out to the left side, 3 out to the right. 17 seconds left to go on the play clock. Of course, there is a play clock that's used. It's rare sometimes across the WFA that you'll see it actually out. So it's great to be able to see it here. Here's Jeffries, pass complete to the left sideline. Hit immediately was Emily Rankin on the completion. So the first completion of the day to Emily Rankin. To the 27-yard line, a gain of 8 on 2nd down and 10, sits at 3rd and 2. That time Jeffries stood in the pocket, put it right on the hands of the receiver Weeks. Sets up 3rd down. It's Haley Zyrowski, defensive back on coverage for Capital City. 3rd and 2 now. OKC 0 for 4 on 3rd down opportunities, looking for their first conversion here. Jeffries empties the backfield. 3 onto the right, 2 again. Same formation as the previous play. Whistle blows. Timeout called. As it won't be a timeout call, it'll be the end of the quarter itself. So timeout called. We'll have to be in the pocket for just a little bit longer. As at the end of the first quarter of play, a defensive showdown between the Capital City Savages and the OKC Lady Force. Scoreless here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance.
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
WFA National Championship in Division III brought to you by Aid Nation, the official sports drink of the Women's Football Alliance. Start of the second quarter here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, scoreless between the Capital City Savages and the Oklahoma City Lady Force, as on 3rd down, the OKC Lady Force stopped for no gain, sets up 4th and 2. Here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Alex Westad with you here. First of 4 games here from this beautiful, pristine facility in beautiful Canton, Ohio. 4th and 2 now for OKC. They converted a 4th down on their last drive. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down today. Line of gain, the 25. Handoff to Mira Sweet. Sweet has it as she charges through the offensive line. Great blocking from Oklahoma City and converts the second first down of the day for OKC. So pick up a 4 on 4th down. Moves the chains for the Lady Force. So far, both teams have had some struggles getting their offense going. It's been a battle of field position here, looking for the first points of the game. Trying to continue those chains moving forward for both of these teams. Again, the projected score by the Massey ratings is 20-13 Capital City. But if OKC jumps on the scoreboard here, they'll be more than happy with it. And Lou Ross III, his first season undefeated this year, are OKC. On the end around, Tamira Sweet. Sweet, oh boy, big tackle there. Jasmine Lenoir from Saginaw, Michigan. Ferris State University Bulldog, her alma mater. Huge play by Lenoir as she'll take care of the running back Sweet in the backfield. Look at this tackle. Boom, right off the edge. There'll be a loss of 1 on the play to the 24-yard line. Sets up 2nd down and 11. For Lenoir, great job of disengaging from the offensive tackle, rolling out to the left side, and great pursuit of the ball carrier Sweet. Sets up 2nd down and 11. Capital City, the home team. 6-2 record on the year, 11th overall in the Massey ratings. Here on 2nd and 11. Empty backfield for Jeffries. Jeffries back, stepping up, throwing right side, incomplete. Was looking for Elizabeth Jones and Justine McSwain on the right side. Covered well defensively by Brittany Adams for Capital City. It's a ball a little bit underthrown. And thankfully for Capital City, not able to find the ball. That time was any other wide receivers. So that sets up another 3rd down here for OKC. Ball at the 24-yard line. Figure maybe in football field goal range. However, both of these teams have not attempted a field goal yet this season. OKC kickers as well, 2 for 8 on extra points this season. Comparison, Capital City 14 for 20 from the extra point dot. Here's 3rd and 11. Line to gain is a 13. Jeffries flushed out again, carrying it up the middle. Jeffries with a nice spin move before the Savages combined after a gain to the 19-yard line and a gain of 5 yards on the play. So that's up another 4th down. We'll have another injury stoppage. We've had a number of those so far today. As it'll set up 4th and 6. Just great speed by the dual threat quarterback, Desiree Jeffries. We've seen her throw the ball. We've seen her carry the ball. Once more, the leading rusher for OKC this year. As the training staffs will collide onto the field. Have another injury stoppage here. 4th and 6 upcoming, 12:55 remaining here in the 2nd quarter of play. No score between Capital City and OKC. Both these teams had their offenses rolling in their conference championship games. For OKC, 24-2 to the Arizona Outcast, and then for the Capital City Savages, 42 points scored on the road at Carolina to make it here to Canton, Ohio in this Hall of Fame weekend. Began last night with a meet and greet in downtown Canton. 2 games today, Division II to follow with Brian Sweeney and Donna Wilkerson, as it'll be the Derby City Dynamite and the Mile High Blaze. We've seen injuries be a story in this game so far. See on your screen, Lauren Ward for Capital City was carted off the field after an injury. And we'll step aside as this continues. And we'll watch now the injured Yvonne Flores from Saginaw, Michigan, Delta College, as well as, see there, Taranda Joe Brown from Burton, Michigan, University of Northwestern of Ohio, work their way to the sidelines. It'll test your health, it'll test your mettle. Had the opportunity to take a walk down on the field earlier today. It is warm on the turf here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So 4th and 6 here at the 19-yard line. We'll see what the OKC Lady Force have, looking for the first points of the ball game. Two for 2 on 4th down. Quick hitter in the flat, McSwain. McSwain, mad by the Savages. Great tackle by Elizabeth Speaks to say no, and a turnover on downs. So the defense is showing everything that they can handle today. First 4th down, unsuccessful for Capital City defensively on this game. Now they'll take over 1st and 10 here from their 18-yard line. After Capital City had that great field position to start their drive before the interception thrown by the quarterback, Kyla Wilson. They've had every drive since then start inside their own 20-yard line. 12:34 remaining here in the 2nd quarter of play. No score between Capital City and Oklahoma City. Their first all-time matchup between these two teams. 1st and 10 on the pitch. Left side, Brittany Adams. Adams trying to escape the one tackle, could not escape the second as Justine McSwain pulls her down to the ground after a gain of what'll be 2 yards on the play. Sets up 2nd down and 8. And Brittany Adams, the 6th best rusher In Division III in the Women's Football Alliance, 100 carries, 489 yards, 9 touchdowns this season for Capital City, along of 55 yards. Taking a look at the statistics on the ground, Elizabeth Speaks with a longer rush this season of 61 yards and 4 touchdowns. With 2nd down and 8. Savages approaching the line. There's 3 drives now. Not one has extended more than 4 plays. 2nd and 8. On the handoff, cutting it back to the middle. Adams tried to lower the shoulder but could not. Well-timed tackle delivered by OKC. And well read by Jasmine Guy. As that'll set up a now 3rd down. It'll be a loss of 1 yard officially. 3rd and 9 to the 19. So Capital City starting to work down here as they'll take a timeout and talk about their offense. They'll have 2 remaining as well. Here with 11:20 remaining in this second half of play. We'll step aside, no score. Here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Canton, Ohio, between Capital City and Oklahoma City, here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
Third down and 9. No score yet between Capital City and Oklahoma City. Lady Force dropping back to pass. Wilson avoids pressure, rolling out to the right side. Wilson stays out of a tackle there, but steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Able to gain 5 on that play. Will still be short of the line to gain. And in this side of the territory and this side of midfield, you wouldn't think Capital City would go for it here. Great job, great awareness by Kyla Wilson to tuck down the ball and run. Wilson, just 12 carries in the regular season, but 2 touchdowns for Capital City. Appears as though they will go punt formation once again. Emily DeCenzo has been called on a lot here in this contest early. As Capital City now with 3 drives that were 3 and outs, 1 drive that ended in a Wilson interception. His punt get away. Fielded by Sweet. Sweet wrapped up, trying to escape the tackle, and did. Great job by Sweet to avoid the tackle before the second effort by Brianna Hahn could not assist her. Brittany Adams on a special teams tackle for Capital City. And as a result, Oklahoma City will take over once more. Look at that pursuit. Quick on it first, Jessica Weeks. But then keeping the legs moving. Sweet, just great job to continue to work forward. So here's OKC. Their last drive started on the 35 of Capital City. They could not turn it into points as they were able to convert 1 4th down, but could not convert the next 4th down. And as a result, Capital City was able to possess the football, and we are still scoreless here with 10:31 remaining in the second quarter of play. From Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Alex Westell with you here high atop this beautiful press box in this facility. So grateful to be able to come out here to Canton, Ohio, and be part of it. On 1st and 10, stepping up, throwing right side, incomplete as the pass from Desiree Jeffries was intended for Justine McSwain. Led her a bit too much as it'll fall incomplete. 2nd down now. Seen Jeffries so far 1 pass completion. She's been using the ball well. It's been the defense of Capital City that's prevented the completions from happening altogether. As Capital City and Oklahoma City have a defensive showdown ongoing. Here's 2nd and 10. Empty backfield. Quarterback Desiree Jeffries. Dropping back, steps up into the pocket, throwing right side. Pass is incomplete, as both Rankin and Jones were in the area for OKC. It falls at the feet of Elizabeth Jones. Incomplete, back-to-back incompletions, and now another 3rd down upcoming for the Oklahoma City Lady Force. That ball just between the 2 receivers, the 2 targets for Jeffries. Falling incomplete. 3rd down and 10. It's now OKC 0 for 6 on 3rd downs and 2 for 3 on 4th downs. We'll see what the Lady Force draw up here. Line to gain is a Capital City 41-yard line. Jeffries at quarterback, 3 left, 2 right. 2 on the play clock, dropping back to pass. Jeffries rolls out to the right side, trying to communicate with her receivers. Jeffries will have to tuck it down and steps out of bounds and lost a chunk of yards on that play. That's great pursuit again by Capital City Savages to force Jeffries out back to the 48-yard line. So that'll be a loss of 1 yard on the play. And here comes 4th down. Again, Jeffries just looking for that target, but just could not find one. As Godair on the force out of bounds. We've talked about how great Oklahoma City's defense is too, but Capital City's has been just as strong. They've allowed multiple touchdowns in a game just twice this season. They've played some pretty good teams too. They did it once to Detroit in the WFA Pro Division, and the other time to Grand Rapids before. The next time they played Grand Rapids, they held them to just 1 touchdown, and then 8 shutouts in their last 3 seasons for the defense of the Capital City Savages. On the return, Jessica Weeks. A good return here for Capital City, as she was able to get on the line to gain for OKC out to the 43-yard line. So that battle for field position continues as Capital City will take over 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. 9:25 remaining here in the 2nd quarter of play. No score between the Capital City Savages of Lansing, Michigan, and the OKC Lady Force of beautiful Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So big drive coming up for Capital City and the Savages. My key to the game offensively was to use Wilson early to force that two-handedness that the offense for the Capital City Savages have. We mentioned again, 172 rushing yards per game, 123 passing yards per game. They pass more than all but 2 offenses in Division III behind Arizona and behind Sun City. They just haven't been able to do so successfully. Looking for once more of their drives. All but 1 have been a 3 and out, and the other drive was an interception. That's not the right way to go by any means either, as on the first carry going backwards on it. Elizabeth Speaks for a loss of 2 yards. So not a great start here for the Capital City Savages. Certainly as we get closer to the halftime break, lots for both of these teams to work through on offense, as OKC has gotten 2 first downs so far, but haven't been able to do much else beyond it. It's been a defensive struggle between these 2 teams, as the first 4 drives of the game for both teams resulted in quick drives. The longest drive of the game so far, OKC with 8. Here on 2nd and 12 on a handoff. This is a great play here for Capital City. Brittany Adams on the carry down to the 47-yard line, and a good gain on that play of 6 yards. Sets up 3rd and manageable for Capital City. Good pressure here, of course, by OKC, but the blocking up ahead for the Savages was fantastic. How about that pursuit as well by OKC's Ariana Font, the short safety from Lawton, Oklahoma, Southern New Hampshire University, her alma mater. It'll set up now a 3rd down and 6. Capital City 0 for 4 on 3rd downs. We have a whistle, as this will be a timeout that'll be called.
Their second charge timeout of the half. 1 remaining.
It would be a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They'll have 1 left. Capital City with 2 remaining as well. We'll step aside. 8:02 remaining in the 2nd quarter of play. No score between Capital City and OKC here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance National Championships.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, you know, if you join, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
We, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're gonna get these.
You know, Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
On 3rd and 6. On the carry here by Elizabeth Speaks near midfield. Gain of what will be 3 yards. But once more, short of the line to gain will be the Capital City Savages. And right at midfield, the offense should stay on the field here for Capital City. No score here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Canton, Ohio, the site of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, enshrinement weekend just about a month away. 8 names going into the wonderful Hall of Fame behind us. Of course, a big story here as well. The Women's Football Alliance Pro Division winner will have a team jersey that'll be enshrined in Canton, Ohio until next year's championship game. Here's 4th and 3. First 4th down attempt of the day for Capital City. They lose the football in the back right field, and the OKC defense pulls up a big stop on 4th down to take over on downs. Well, you can see that play develop too, where it looked like they were trying to go to Speaks to the left side, but something on the snap. Wisely, Kyla Wilson falls on it. That results in a turnover on downs for Capital City, and OKC will take over 1st and 10 from the Savages' 46-yard line. 7:15 remaining here in the second quarter of play. No score between Capital City and Oklahoma City, their first all-time matchup between these two teams. Here's the Lady Force, 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of the Savages. 2 receivers out on each side. Stepping up to throw. Pass complete here to the near-hand sideline as Emily Rankin with her 2nd reception of the day. This will be a gain of 6 yards to the 40-yard line. There seems to be some success going there. A quick hitter there from Desiree Jeffries to Emily Rankin. See just that quick little curl on the right side. She created that separation. Rankin coming back to the football for her 2nd catch of the day to lead all OKC receivers. Here on 2nd and 4, quick hitter in the flat, drops incomplete. The whistle will blow to signal that it is incomplete, as it was intended for Tamira Sweet. She had room to run, but instead dropped the football. So it'll bring up 3rd down here for OKC. If you're just joining us, 3rd downs have been a struggle for both teams. Not a team with a 3rd down completion and conversion so far. Teams have had 4th down conversions, that being OKC is 2 for 3 on 4th downs. Under head coach Lou Ross. This will be a 3rd down, 4 yards. Line to gain is the 36-yard line. Jeffries at quarterback, 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Sweet in the backfield with her. Dropping back, Jeffries trying to extend the play with her legs, throws a pass to the right side. This time it's incomplete to a wide open Brianna Hahn as she just dropped it. She'll want that one back for sure. Well ahead of the line to gain. And a missed opportunity for OKC as the 3rd down struggles for both teams continue. It's a great effort by Jeffries to extend the play, and this ball perfectly into the breadbasket for Hahn, and just dropped it. So here's 4th and 4 now. It'll be punt formation for Oklahoma City. Chelsea Taylor, the punter, and Jessica Weeks back deep to receive, standing at her own 13-yard line. On a bounce, punt gotten away. As a little roll, it goes off the hand of the returner, and the ball's fall down. Oklahoma City has it. Hit off the hands of Jessica Weeks and recovered by Oklahoma City on special teams to give the first turnover of the game here on special teams. 2nd turnover on the game recovered by OKC, and now a real short field and opportunity for the Lady Force. You see, she tried to drop to a knee to field it cleanly. But once that makes contact with you, it's fair game for everybody. Got to give credit for Damaris Guerra for being the first one for OKC to have coverage on it. Lou Ross on your screen certainly likes that. Second turnover of the game now for Capital City, as now OKC will pick up this drive with 6:20 left to go in the first half of play. First and 10 from the Capital City 15. Officially, it'll be the best starting field position of the day for either team. On the second turnover by the Savages. Empty backfield now for quarterback Jeffries. Jeffries dropping back, puts up a shot to the end zone, incomplete. Looking for the wide receiver on that far side, Justine McSwain, who came across on the in route across the formation as it falls incomplete. Second and 10. So teams, Capital City and OKC, looking to get onto the scoreboard. Prime opportunity here at the 15-yard line to start this drive. See if OKC able to polish it off here with points. Capital City with 2 timeouts remaining, OKC with 1. As we sit here, 6:13 remaining in the first half of play. Capital City will get the ball to start on offense on the other side of the half. Capital City with a chance to double dip. So far, both these offensive have not been able to contend with the great defenses that we've seen on display. On the carry, Tamira Sweet. Sweet to the right side, wrapped up, cannot escape her that time. And after making the miscue on the special teams play, Jessica Weeks with a great tackle there for the Capital City Savages. It'll be a nice loss there on the play, as we'll actually give her a yard on the gain for it to the 14-yard line. Look at that tackle, how she just comes out of that secondary spot and just blows up in the backfield. Great pursuit there. Tamira Sweet on the running attempt. And a great tackle there by Jessica Weeks. Now sets up 3rd down and 9. Line to gain to keep the drive going. OKC does not need a touchdown yet. It's the 5-yard line. That'll be the line to gain. 2 in the backfield this time. As in addition to Tamira Sweet, Damaris Guerra in the backfield. Receiver out to the left, Elizabeth Jones this time. Play action, stepping up, pass, thrown, complete touchdown, Oklahoma City. Justine McSwain with the touchdown reception. She had 1 in the regular season. She's got 1 in Canton, Ohio, and the OKC Lady Force take a 6-0 lead. That play action worked so well for OKC, and McSwain found a hole in that zone as Capital City was playing the run there. And just right on the edge of the goal line, McSwain, the All-American for Oklahoma City, finds the end zone. Now here's the extra point try. Chelsea Taylor to take it. She's 1 for 5 in the regular season. As this kick is up, and this one will be good. As it hit off the hands of the blocker, I think that hand contact helped her out on it. So with the extra point successful, first touchdown on the day goes to Oklahoma City. So the drive summary for Oklahoma City, 3 plays, 15 yards, and 1:59 seconds off the clock to give Oklahoma City the lead at 7-0. Of course, with the defenses at a premium. Lots of time left for Capital City to pull back within this one. They need their offense to start clicking, and they need their offense to start clicking now with 5:13 remaining here in the first quarter of play. It's an offense for Capital City that averaged 36.0 points per game this season. It was 4th in Division III, 14th overall in the WFA. So certainly for Capital City, a lot of time to get the offense going. Just need to take advantage of it now. 2 turnovers on the day for Capital City, 0 for OKC. Penalty flags have been prodigiously in favor of Capital City as well. 4 penalty flags against the Savages for 20 yards. All 4 penalties, procedural items. So here's OKC to kick it off. Be Elizabeth Speaks back deep to receive, and Patricia Youngblood back deep as well. On to kickoff for OKC, number 99, Chels Doro. And the kick delivered here. Beautiful line drive can be fielded there by Speaks. Speaks on the return, trying to cut back to the left side, and is able to escape the tackle attempt delivered that time by OKC. Trying to race back to the near side, wrapped up and delivered to the ground. On a very nice tackle by Chelsea Taylor. But it should be good field position again for OKC, as they'll have it 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Capital City Savages. So 5:02 remaining here in the second quarter of play. There's a flag down on the field. So wait to see what it is.
We have a personal foul, face mask on number 1. 15 added on to the end of the run. First down.
So 15-yard penalty for a face mask that'll be tacked on at the end of the run. The first penalty, and again, you see on your screen, an injured OKC Lady Force player right at midfield. It's Damaris Guerra being attended to. It's the first penalty as well against OKC, one for 15 yards. Be tacked on at the end of the run. Of course, the main concern now for both of these teams, the health of Guerra. Now she stands up here. Again, on the return, it's very easy to get those hands up close as you're trying for the wrap-up, and sure enough, right there on the tackle. Clear hand to the face mask there by Chelsea Taylor. As a result of the penalty, the ball will be moved on the OKC side of the field. Be 1st and 10 for Capital City from the 48-yard line. We talked about how Capital City had a drive that started 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line before a false start penalty by the Savages forced them back onto their side, and they didn't do anything with it. Prime field position here for Capital City to take advantage of. Quick hitter in the flat from Wilson to the left side, incomplete. As it was intended on the far side there, and incomplete. 2nd down and 10. And Kyla Wilson did not use the arm a lot early. Trying to find her rhythm now. This pass was intended for Emily Wilson on the far side. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. So we'll approach the line. 4:57 remaining here in this second quarter of play. 7-0. OKC over Capital City. Desiree Jeffries to Justine McSwain, our lone score so far. On the handoff in 2nd and 10, ball carrier Brittany Adams trying to carry it forward, was able to do so further down to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5 sets up another 3rd down. It's the other thing Capital City wants to get going. Brittany Adams, another injury timeout as Ariana Font is down on the field for OKC. Ahead of what will be a big 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Capital City Savages here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium and the Hall of Fame Village here in Canton, Ohio. Beautiful place, beautiful stadium. First of 4 games here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The Division II game to follow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central, between the American Conference champion Mile High Blaze and the National Conference champion, the Derby City Dynamite. Mile High looking to win the championship at the Division II level, and they'll have to do so against the defending Division III champion from last year, the Derby City Dynamite, who a season ago knocked out Arizona 30-20 here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in the Division III contest. Story of the game upcoming, Mile High 6-1 on the year, 9th overall in the Massey ratings. If you're looking for a team that's poised to make a move up to division of the WFA Pro, it certainly is the Mile High Blaze. The defense is there, 8.6 points per game, 3rd in the WFA Division II, 8th overall. The question for Mile High will be their offense, as it does very well at the Division II level, as they're 3rd in all categories except for passing, in which they are 2nd. But on that overall, they're still in the middle of the pack as far as it is concerned, but they should be poised to move up before too long. And offense will be the story for Mile High upcoming as well, as 16 points against Austin, 12 points against Houston. in the upcoming Division II contest. We'll step aside here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 7-0 OKC up in front of Capital City here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance National Championships.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, if you join, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
We, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're gonna get these.
Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
Seven 0 Oklahoma City over the Capital City Savages here in the WFA Division III Championship from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Alex Westad with you here from the press box here in Canton. You can find me on Twitter at Alex Westad. Once more, the continued look and continued concern for health of the Oklahoma City Lady Force as they continue to attend to the player on the field. As we take a look at our summary of the game so far, the game started in the first quarter with a series of punt battles as the first two drives for both teams resulted in a drive that was fewer than 4 plays. An interception thrown by Kyla Wilson was the story of the drive for Capital City. Oklahoma City, though, not advantage was able to be taken as they were forced to punt on that drive. Another punt followed for Capital City, and then another punt followed on a turnover on downs as well. OKC, the punt battle continued here early in the second quarter before, after a punt from OKC was fielded and hit the contact of the returner Jessica Weeks, it was pounced on by Oklahoma City, and it was taken advantage of as after 3 plays in a minute 59 for 15 yards, the first touchdown of the game, as Justine McSwain found the end zone on a pass from Desiree Jeffries, as that gave the OKC Lady Force a 7-0 lead. As you see, being helped to the cart here, Emily Wilson, there's a correction, Ariana Font for OKC helped to the cart here in Canton, Ohio. We've seen the cart used twice so far today, and certainly something. As we sit here at these championship games, we work so hard all season between the practices, the film, and everything that goes into making this happen. So heartbreaking to see players have their season ends via the cart. Much credit, too, to the Capital City Savages, turning to the fans here in attendance. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, looking for noise, looking for support of the affected players. It's one thing that we saw, that you see over the course of the Women's Football Alliance season, is you see support for these players and for these teams. Yes, they're competitors on the field, but at the end of the day, when all of us succeed, everybody succeeds. So the support from team to team It's always something that's wonderful to see, no matter what team it is, no matter what division it is. Support reigns high all across the Women's Football Alliance. So here's 3rd down and 5 for Capital City. The line to gain is the 38-yard line of Oklahoma City. 4:42 remaining here in quarter number 2. And the big story of the game so far, both teams 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. And that number starts to rack up. The big difference there, though, is OKC's defense, and a great effort that time by Chelsea Taylor for the tackle, as behind the original line of scrimmage back to the 49-yard line. A loss of 6 on 3rd down. Continues the 3rd down struggles for both teams, as that quarterback draw just didn't quite work as she tried to go out to the left side, and OKC was ready for it. So Capital City will be forced to punt once again. Back deep to return for OKC, Justine McSwain, who has the touchdown so far for the Lady Force DeCenzo. On to punt for Capital City. Punt is a high one. We'll see if it takes a bounce. We'll take a friendly roll for Capital City. Look at this as it continues to bounce and roll forward inside the 15-yard line. Down there by Jessica Weeks at the 14. That's where OKC will take over 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line with 3:34 remaining in this opening half of play. Taking a look at it. 1st to 4 here. Capital City needs a defensive stop as the OKC drives, except for 2 in the 1st quarter and one that overlapped the 1st and 2nd quarter. OKC's had their problems on offense too. That short field, just 15 yards to go, gave the Lady Force a touchdown. And a beautiful pass from Desiree Jeffries to Justine McSwain from Yukon, Oklahoma. Here's Jeffries. OKC University, her alma mater, on 1st and 10 from the 14. Jeffries stepping up into the pocket, pass batted down, well read on the defensive coverage by number 23, Nia Johnson from Lansing, Michigan. What a great read on that play to force the incompletion. Here comes 2nd down and 10. As Jeffries tried to feed Rankin. Rankin with 2 completions today for 18 yards. That ball falls incomplete to the defensive effort of Nia Johnson. So OKC back to the line, 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. Capital City will have the ball on offense to start the 2nd half. OKC with 1 timeout remaining, Capital City with 2. Stepping up to the right side, this pass is incomplete. I think she was intending to aim it for Justine McSwain. Threw the ball a little bit too much to the sideline on the near side. And I'll make it 3rd down and 10.
That'll bring up 3rd down.
Last 3rd down opportunity for OKC was a touchdown, as Desiree Jeffries was able to find Justine McSwain for the only points of the ball game so far. It's a big 3rd down opportunity now. The line of gain is their own 24-yard line. They're not quite in timeout time yet, but defensive stop here by Capital City should be enough to give them great field position. On 3rd and 10, Jeffries dropping back. Look for the pass in the flat, unable to do so. Now trying to roll out of the pocket here, rolling to the right side and sacked. Great effort by Capital City as Jeffries tried to extend the play and taken down by Jasmine Lenoir for her 2nd sack of the day. Loss of 12 on the play and a huge sack delivered there. 2nd sack for Capital City on the afternoon. And here comes Chelsea Taylor on to punt. Got to give credit for Desiree Jeffries trying to extend the play. But just like on the 1st sack of the game that OKC suffered, simply throwing the ball away helps you out there. It's okay to throw the ball away. Jeffries trying to keep the play alive and give her credit for it, but sometimes better just to take the incompletion than to take the sack. So in the shadows of the end zone here, it's been an area where OKC has had their struggles. We mentioned 3 safeties. This time they get this one away, no problem. They'll take a bounce, continuing to roll, and this one will roll and to a stop right about the 33-yard line. So Capital City now with another short field. So they'll have it 1st and 10 from the OKC 33-yard line with 2 minutes exactly left to go here in this opening quarter and opening half of play. So Capital City will pull out their 2-minute offense. Seen them go to Kyla Wilson through the air a little bit more. It'd be nice if you're a fan of the Capital City Savages to start seeing that air attack more. Getting Kyla Wilson involved through the air, it's something that Capital City's strayed away from here in the early going. I think that interception on the second Capital City drive kind of scared the coaching staff from using the air attack offense. Here's an air attack pass, incomplete. He's looking once more in the flat for Brittany Adams. Falls incomplete. Now 2nd down and 10. Clock still 2 minutes remaining. Here in the 2nd quarter, Capital City will get the ball on offense to start the second half of play. So important certainly, as we will have a stoppage here. I'll wait for an official signal one way or the other. As it'll be a timeout. They're pointing towards the Savages side of the field, so it'll be a timeout for the Savages. Both teams now, 1 remaining. Here with a minute 56 remaining in the 2nd quarter of play. We started to preview a little bit that Division II championship coming up 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Central between Mile High and Derby City. On face value, Derby City enters that contest at 4-4 on the season. But take that with a grain of salt. They play a very tough schedule. Their playoff run to get here, 59-0 over the Tri-State Warriors out of New Jersey. And then a defensive showdown where they were able to hold the Baltimore Nighthawks to 12 points while scoring 40 points against Baltimore to make this trip here to Canton, Ohio in the Division II championship game. And the master ratings say Mile High the favorite in that one, 28-14. Of course, if you're a fan of the Mile High Blaze, you're a little concerned as to the offensive output in the playoffs. But at the same time, Mile High has the pedigree where they have the opportunity to do something real special coming up here. Here's 2nd down and 10. Stepping up, Wilson, pass, thrown, and batted down. Was looking for Elizabeth Speaks. Double coverage delivered by OKC. As Justine McSwain in coverage. Batted down as well by Jasmine Guy. Great defensive effort there by OKC. And I like the decision there of Wilson to go to that right side on that go route. Talk about well-timed on the jump. McSwain and Guy with great defensive coverage. Sets up now another 3rd down for Capital City. 3rd down and 10. Line to gain will be the 23-yard line. Both teams with a timeout remaining. Here in the waning moments of this 2nd quarter. Wilson out of the gun, has Adams to her left. Stepping up into the pocket, throwing right side, incomplete, intended for Elizabeth Speaks. Well timed on the out route there by Speaks, but just a little ahead of her. So it falls incomplete now. 3 straight incompletions for the quarterback, Kyla Wilson. As it brings up 4th down and 10. It appears as though Capital City will bring on the punt team as Emily DeCenzo will take to the field looking to punt. And after the touchdown drive by OKC by virtue of the punt fumble by Jessica Weeks, both teams have reciprocated with punts. So McSwain stands at her 15. Responsible for the OKC touchdown. DeCenzo gets the punt away. It's a high one. We'll see how it takes a roll and how it'll take a bounce. It'll take a friendly bounce for OKC and roll forward, but good special teams coverage delivered there by Danielle Godere to stop it before gaining on the other side of the 20. And OKC will take over 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line with a minute 37 remaining here in this first half of play. So 7-0 our score here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. First of 4 contests, the All-American game between the National Conference and the American Conference tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Of course, the big one, Minnesota Vixen and the Boston Renegades, Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Time. on ESPN2 with myself, Brian Sweeney, Lois Cook, Donna Wilkinson on the sideline, providing coverage of what should be a great weekend here of the Women's Football Alliance. 1st and 10 for OKC. Jeffries, pass right side complete. Able to connect that time with Justine McSwain. The quick offense moves. Clock will stop by NCAA rules on a 1st down for OKC. But there will be another stoppage as another player is injured for the Capital City Savages. And we've seen OKC on the passing game. They use those quick hitters so well, and the wide receivers are doing a great job on those curls. Just cut right back. And it's worked against Capital City as Savages special teams in their secondary has just run past the receivers and haven't been able to make the adjustment to come back and cover those curl routes. So OKC is starting to find some success on offense. So another timeout, another stoppage for an injured player, this time for Capital City. So clock will stop 1:27 here with the 2nd quarter remaining. As there's Ariana Font. As the golf cart continues to make its rounds here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. A lone drive for OKC that resulted in points off of a fumble recovery on the punt by Jessica Weeks, recovered by OKC. 3 plays and a touchdown pass from Desiree Jeffries to Justine McSwain to the end zone. Justine McSwain with 5 receptions on the regular season for 62 yards, 1 touchdown. She averages 12.4 on her pass completions, got 10 yards on that last play. And for the OKC Lady Force, their first down since the first play of the 2nd quarter. Both teams with the timeout remaining. Here's 1st and 10 now from the 28-yard line. Jeffries with Sweet in the backfield. Jeffries stepping up, throws a shot downfield, incomplete. As I saw what she was going for there on that go route, Justine McSwain on the right side. Both teams using those streaks well. As I think the speed of McSwain just a little too much. She was looking to connect again with that target on the right-hand side. Incomplete. Again, you see the secondary there as she fell down as well. She stays upright. You could argue that ball certainly catchable, but instead falls incomplete. Now 2nd down and 10. As Desiree Jeffries in the regular season this year, just 1 touchdown pass, long of 33 yards. We mentioned Oklahoma City doesn't pass the football all that often yardage-wise. 38.5 yards per game through the pass. 18th in Division III of 29 teams, 50th overall in the WFA. They've used the passing game pretty heavily here. Just haven't been able to complete those completions, save for that touchdown drive. So on the carry here, his Sweet to the 30. So a gain of 2 yards. They might give her the 31. They will give her the 31. So a gain of 3 yards instead. Sets up 3rd down and 7. OKC with the only 3rd down conversion so far today between these two teams. You have 55 seconds. Hurry up offense for OKC. Jeffries stepping up into the pocket, looking for Sweet again. Intercepted by Jessica Weeks for the Capital City Savages. On the return, Weeks picks up the block. Weeks to the near side, steps out of the 30, 37 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Life for the Capital City Savages. Almost a carbon copy of the previous play where the receiver McSwain had fallen. Chose to go right back to it, which I like that choice. Just off the hands of McSwain and Weeks. Great job on the return, picks up a key block there from Zyrowski. For Capital City, tries to roll to the outside before being forced out of bounds by Elizabeth Jones, and great recovery there on the turnover. As that's the interception now, 2-1, the turnover battle. As Capital City with 2 turnovers so far, OKC now with 1. It's a big one here. Again, you see that ball looking to connect right into the hands of Jessica Weeks. That's where that punt return experience for Weeks helps. She was able to return it easily there. Timeout taken by Capital City. They'll have none remaining. We'll take this timeout with 37 seconds left to discuss their offense. The ball will be 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. So a short field upcoming here for Capital City, but when we take a look at the plays so far today for the Savages, longest play from scrimmage for Capital City, they had a play of 6 yards. And that's been the longest play that they've had so far today, aside from that interception return just there by Jessica Weeks. So this high-flying Capital City offense, which averages 29.7 yards per game on offense, split evenly between rushing and passing. Just haven't had the big explosive plays, but Capital City looking for one here. 37 seconds remaining in the first half. On 1st and 10, the handoff slid forward that time. Elizabeth Speaks the ball carrier. She gains a yard on it to the 28-yard line, 2nd and 9. Quick moving offense as Capital City now with no timeouts remaining. Neither team attempted a field goal in the regular season. As Wilson dropping back, steps up into the pocket, thrown, intercepted. Didn't get enough on it. Now on the return here, back the other way for OKC, Ashley Carlson. Carlson tackled down there by the quarterback, Wilson. 3rd turnover of the day for Capital City Savages, as OKC will snuff things out here in the first half with 8 seconds remaining and 1 timeout left to go. You see Wilson looking all the way at the receiver on the left side, Speaks. Ball underthrown and taken the other way. Damaris Guerra on the interception. 2nd interception thrown by Kyla Wilson today. She had 10 interceptions in the regular season. It'll be 1st and 10 with 8 seconds left to go here. The 47-yard line. Back-to-back interceptions on drives. See if OKC chooses to take a shot here, and why wouldn't you? So an interception here really wouldn't hurt you unless there's a big return attached to it. So here's 1st and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line. The quarterback keeper to the right side, stepping out of bounds. Clock will stop, 3 seconds remaining. As Jeffries just carried it herself out of bounds. 47 to the 49, so a gain of 2 yards on the play makes it a little bit closer for that Hail Mary here at the end of the half. 3 seconds remaining. Both these teams had offensive opportunities. 6 drives now in the second quarter, and instead Jeffries will choose to just take the knee. And as a result, the clock will wind down here in this second quarter of play. A defensive powerhouse team between Oklahoma City and the Capital City Savages, as both of these teams have combined for 7 points so far, and the 3 and outs have been prolific as defenses have been strong. 7-0 our score. OKC over Capital City here at the end of the first half of play. You're on your home for the Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, you know, if you joined, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
We, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're gonna get these.
You know, Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness.
The Woman of the Year mirrors the NFL's annual Man of the Year award, which recognizes players who selflessly offer their time, energy, and passion to serving needs in their communities. 2022 is the inaugural year of this award for the foundation. The nominations were submitted to an independent 5-person selection committee with no affiliation to or stake in the foundation. Each member of the committee reviewed and ranked their top 3 candidates based on submissions by the leadership of that respective player's team. The numerical board point method was then utilized to determine the winner. And now, without further ado, the very first recipient of the Women's Gridiron Foundation's 2022 Women of the Year is Tanoy Jones. Tanoy has been playing women's tackle football for over 5 years as an outside linebacker and defensive end, and is a captain on her team. She's an early childhood mental health consultant for the DC Department of Behavioral Health, where she provides mental health services to childhood care facilities for infants up to the age of 5. She practices prevention and early intervention services for the benefit of children and their families. Tanoy is also on call, overnight clinical supervisor for Catholic Charities. Her days and her nights are literally dedicated to serving others. In the stadium today are members of her family, including her niece, Kendall. In the spirit of community service, the Women's Gridiron Foundation is also pleased to present a $500 donation to Tanoy's chosen charity, Fostering Life, whose mission is to fulfill the social, developmental, physical, and educational needs of youth within the foster care system. Their programs focus on providing tools, resources, and supports that develop confident, self-sufficient youth on their journey to becoming successful adults. Congratulations to Tanoy. And now for the second presentation, the Women's Gridiron Foundation's 2022 Game Changer Honor. This annual award is presented to a person who has literally changed the game for all females by forging an otherwise uncharted path in the sport of American football so that future generations of girls might follow with more ease and access. If it were possible for a person to literally break the mold in deserving this honor, it would be this year's recipient, Mitchie Collette. Mitchie has, for over 50 years, has served the women's game as a player, a coach, a friend, an ambassador, and a mentor. Mitchie's journey began as a player for the infamous Toledo Troopers, where she played from 1973 to 1979. In 1983, the Troopers were recognized by the Pro Football Hall of Fame as the winningest professional football team in history. Mitchie next played for the Toledo Furies from 1985 to 1989. Her transition into coaching began in 2002 for the Toledo Spitfire, where she served as the head coach for 1 year. The following year, in 2003, she founded the Toledo Reign and has served as the team's owner and head coach to the present day, a nearly 20-year run. Since 2019, Mitchie has also coached in multiple international events. Her accolades include a 6-time Defensive Player of the Year, 6-time Offensive Linewoman of the Year, the induction of the Toledo Troopers into the Women's Football Foundation Hall of Fame in 2014, an induction into her former high school, Toledo Woodward's Hall of Fame, class of 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating Mitchie Collette, the Women's Gridiron Foundation's 2022 Game Changer honoree. And fans, how about one more round of applause for Tanoy Jones and Mitchie Collette.
Halftime here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, as in a defensive struggle, Oklahoma City leads 7-0 over the Capital City Savages here in the Division III Championship. We'll be back for more on the other side of this break here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance National Championships.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, if you joined, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
We, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're going to get these.
Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, if you joined, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
we, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're going to get these.
You know, Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
Just 14 points allowed between these two teams in their playoff road so far. It's been a defensive powerhouse battle, as at the halftime of the WFA's Division III National Championship, Oklahoma City leads the Capital City Savages by a score of 7-0. Alex Westhead with you here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. It's been all defense so far here through the early goings, as both teams have had their chances. It's been sacks by the Capital City Savages, as a pair of Savage sacks have helped Capital City stay in this game. There's also been interceptions as well that have gone both ways, as OKC with a pair of interceptions and Capital City with one interception. That's been the difference so far, as the defense has reigned supreme here in Canton, Ohio. The difference, though, so far is this touchdown pass from Jeffries, as she found wide open Justine McSwain in the backfield, as she stutter-stepped over the line to give the Oklahoma City Lady Force this 7-0 lead here at the end of the first half of play. Our story so far and our first half stats that are presented to you here on your screen, as our first half stats really focus on the big stories of the game. It's the turnovers, third downs, and the fourth downs. Turnovers now favor the Oklahoma City Lady Forces. They've taken advantage of 3 Capital City turnovers. The big story, though, third down. Oklahoma City 1 for 11. Capital City is 0 for 7. And impressively, Oklahoma City has 2 fourth downs, compared to their 1 third down conversion. And so that execution on third down and fourth down will be the key for success here in the second half of play. Capital City will receive the ball to start play in the second half. We will say hello to the 207 of you currently watching on YouTube.com. Let us know where you're watching from and interact with us on the broadcast. You're on your home for the Women's Football Alliance National Championships.
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape. Train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
I was all for it from the beginning, secretly.
I told her that, you know, if you join, you're in it. She's fast for her age, and I said, look, if they can't catch you, then they can't tackle you.
We, believe it or not, found an extra small pair of Zenith pads, and I was like, hey, we're going to get these.
You know, Zenith just fits better. They love it.
Touchdown, come on!
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
WFA National Championships brought to you by Aid Nation, the official sports drink of the Women's Football Alliance. Start of the second half here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. If you forget, that young woman's hat has the location for you. As at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, we have a defensive struggle between the Oklahoma City Lady Force and the Capital City Savages. 7-0 our score here at the start of the third quarter of play. Alex Westhead with you here from high atop Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. You can find me on Twitter at Alex Westhead. We once more say hello to the 289 of you currently watching on the Women's Football Alliance YouTube channel. We say hello to everybody watching, including Kansas City, Missouri checking in, Oklahoma City, of course, Houston, Texas, Yukon, Oklahoma, Orlando, Florida. Of course, keep those comments coming in. We'd love to hear where you're watching from and who you're supporting today. We do appreciate all your support for the Women's Football Alliance and the growth of women's professional football. Once more, this is the first of 4 games to be played here in Canton, Ohio this weekend, as the Division II game between the Derby City Dynamite of Louisville, Kentucky, and the Mile High Blaze of Denver, Colorado, to follow the conclusion of this one, a 6 p.m. Eastern Time start, 5 p.m. out in the Central Time Zone, and then, of course, for our friends out in the mountains, 4 p.m. The kickoff time here from Canton, Ohio. The 2 games tomorrow, the All-American game at 10 a.m. Eastern between the American Conference and the National Conference, and then the big one, the WFA Pro Championship between the Minnesota Vixen and the Boston Renegades, coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Sunday, July the 10th at ESPN2. Of course, you'll be able to join me, Brian Sweeney, on play-by-play for that one. And, of course, Lois Cook and Donna Wilkinson on the sideline for coverage of the big one, the championship game between the Minnesota Vixen and the Boston Renegades. So Capital City will start this drive, and we'll start the second half on offense. Story of the game, if you join us at the halftime, Capital City having the 4th best offense in the Women's Football Alliance Division III, 14th best overall, has been held scoreless. And their drives, the longest drive of the game so far for Capital City is 4 plays, and they've done it so far 6 times of the 8 drives that they've had. In fact, if we take a look at the drives so far today for this contest, 8 drives for Capital City have yielded 0 points. And for Oklahoma City, 10 drives have yielded 7 points. So the defenses have been strong here today. We mentioned at the halftime, Oklahoma City gave up just 8 points in the playoffs so far. Capital City has given up just 6 points in the playoffs so far. Defense is what we expected would be the case here coming into this one, and defense is exactly what we have gotten. So 30 minutes still to be determined who will be hoisting that trophy high. Taking that back to their home cities. Capital City out of Lansing, Michigan. Oklahoma City out of OKC. The Lady Force to kick off. Here's Chels Doro to kick off. Number 99 from Anadarko, Oklahoma, Langston University. And get back deep to receive Elizabeth Speaks and Jessica Weeks. So if you did hear by Speaks, as she tries to create something here to the 45, escapes a tackle to the 50. Look at Speaks go. Speaks still staying in bounds. What a great return for Capital City as the running back Elizabeth Speaks takes the ball into OKC territory. 1st and 10 for the Savages from the Oklahoma City 45-yard line. And that's exactly the kind of break that Capital City needed, where the offense just wasn't going. They needed a big play to start this half, and they got it on the return by Speaks. Capital City Savages, we mentioned already, the biggest plays from scrimmage for Capital City so far today have been on special teams. The interception return that Jessica Weeks had, and then that kickoff return there by Elizabeth Speaks. 1st and 10 on the handoff. Trying to race forward. They'll try something different here as Tiki Malone, the ball carrier this time. Gains 3 yards down to the 42. Looks like they may give her the 41, so a gain of 4 on that play. Capital City at the half, one of the things that they needed to talk about was how to change this offense. They did a great job of that there. My defensive key for OKC was to ensure that the runners for Capital City didn't have any time, and that the quarterback, Wilson, didn't have any time to throw. That's exactly what OKC needed to do, and so far through the first half, it's exactly what they've done. Here's 2nd and 6. Once more on the handoff, they'll try to go to the left side for Malone. Flags flying all over the field, as Malone will lose 3 on the carry, pending the flags on the field.
Dirty run, we got a personal foul. Face mask on number 10.
So it'll be a face mask penalty against OKC.
15
Brianna
yards
Hahn,
penalty.
the offending party.
Added to the end. First down.
And that'll give the first down. You saw it on your screen there. Clear as day on the face mask. 2 flags flying on it. So after the face mask penalty, it'll move the ball to the 29-yard line. And via penalty, doesn't matter how, but it's the first down of the day for the Capital City Savages. With 4 penalties for 20 yards for Capital City. But OKC now 2 penalty flags for 30 yards. And the difference, Capital City's penalties have been procedural items. OKC's have been the face masks. Both penalties, in fact, face masks. One that time to Brianna Hahn, the previous one to Chelsea Taylor. 1st and 10 now at the 29-yard line. Whistle blows. And there's another flag on the play. I believe we may have a delay of game call here.
Delay of game, number 5 on the offense.
So it will be delay of game.
Replay today.
That'll be the now 5th procedural penalty, as Andre Broach, his 2nd season as head coach of Capital City, former running back for the Michigan Admirals and Grand Rapids Community College. Mentioned already, he holds many semi-pro minor league rushing records, 3rd most all-time in an individual game with 332. On a busted play here, Kyla Wilson tries to make something of it. She won't, but more flags flying onto the field here on the near sideline. So we'll see what the flags are. It's a little bit of a busted play there for Capital City. You saw Wilson look around for Speaks, but by that point she was already gone. What's this flag about? Looks like the officials are signaling against OKC.
We have 2 penalties on the play. We have legal motion on number 10 on the offense. We have a horse collar on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay the down.
So the penalties will offset. You had an illegal shift on Capital City and a penalty as well against OKC. So offsetting penalties. But regardless now, what would have been the 6th procedural penalty for Capital City results in offsetting penalties. Another crack at a first down here. 1st and 15 from the 35. Handoff, nothing there, but she spun out of a tackle. Great play, Elizabeth Speaks. Speaks throws the football. Wide open opportunity for Capital City. How about that for a play? As spinning out of the tackle, finding Danielle Godare on the near sideline. First down, Savages. You knew the Savages would have to start throwing some tricky plays on offense. Zade Roberts, the linebacker, had her wrapped up. And how about that decision by Elizabeth Speaks to throw the football to Godare and create a first down opportunity. Gain of 23 yards on the play. Biggest Capital City offensive play so far today. Now 1st down and 10 from the 11. How's that for your offense? Use Wilson early was my key. Didn't use Wilson there. Used Elizabeth Speaks instead. Here's Speaks on the carry on 1st and 10. Up the middle, a modest gain to stay ahead of schedule down to the 9-yard line. Well, they might give her the 8 on it. Looks as though they will give her... Yeah, they'll give her the 8-yard line, so a gain of 3 on that play. Sets up a 2nd and 7. 11:48 and counting here to go in this 3rd quarter. 7-0 OKC. So now Capital City tying their longest drive of the game. 4 plays. As the Savages continue to keep their offense on the field. Quick play, handoff left side, gotten to Tiki Malone on the carry, down further to the 6-yard line. Gain of 2, sets up a big third down. So after no carries for the rusher Tiki Malone, Jackson College, 3 carries here on this drive for Capital City. Now a third down. It's their halftime stat to watch for Capital City, as they were 0 for 7 on third downs in the first half. It's possible for them to pick up a first down here, as they'd have to get the ball inside the 1. As quick whistle there. That's blown and recovered by Oklahoma City. 4 turnovers on the day for Capital City, and the Lady Force take advantage. As that ball just dropped on the snap by the center for Capital City, Amber Crepeau from Burton, Michigan. And after a great drive by Capital City, the 4th turnover of the day by the Savages. Credit OKC, too, for being right on that ball. Recognizing that it was down and the handoff wasn't done successfully, to fall on the football, lean forward for it, and look to try to take advantage here. 1st and 10 for the Lady Force from the 8-yard line of OKC. On 1st and 10, handoff here to the near side. Tamara Sweet. Sweet escaping tacklers left and right before finally being tackled by Jessica Weeks after a 12-yard gain on the play and a OKC first down. 12 yards on the play. As the Lady Force go hurry up offense here, leading 7-0, 10-19 and counting left to go here in this third quarter of play. Sweet on the handoff. This time she'll try the right side. This time she'll get nothing. Danielle Godere on the tackle. Back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Well, in OKC and the Lady Force, my offensive key for them was to be careful inside the 20. 3 safeties allowed defensively, including 1 against Arizona in their championship game. They've been smart inside the 20. As they've ran now, this would be their 7th play at the 20 or deeper in their own side of the field. They've been spectacular inside the 20. No miscues at all. Here's a pass near side complete. 3rd catch of the day for Emily Rankin. She's thrown out of bounds. There flies a flag. Capital City's coaching staff doesn't like it. But it's going to tack on an extra 15 yards for the late hit out of bounds. And we'll see what OKC is able to do with this.
Late hit out of bounds on number 3.
Just that simple out route there. You see there, she stepped out of bounds, and then boom, there it is. That's just frustration boiling over for Capital City. Had everything going for them on that last drive before that fumble. And this defense for Oklahoma City frustrating Capital City. It's time for the defense for the Capital City Savages to come up and make a stand. Now 6 penalties for 40 yards enforced. On the carry, Tamara Sweet. Sweet with a nice gain to the left side. They found success on the left side. We have a player down for each side now. After that gain of 4 yards on 1st down. So we'll have an injury timeout here, as now a pair of Capital City Savages are down. It's about 82 degrees here in Canton, Ohio. Stands up top, it's a perfect summer day. But with that turf, it can get real hot real quick. So certainly both teams are feeling the effects of it here today. Clock will stop, 9:02 remaining here in the third quarter of play. 7-0 OKC leading the Capital City Savages. Once more, we want to say hello to everybody watching on YouTube.com and the Women's Football Alliance YouTube page. While you're there, feel free to hit subscribe and hit the notification symbol so you can see when new videos are uploaded, including the Road to Canton show. We'll have a season recap video coming up here in the next couple of days. Brian Sweeney, of course, hosts that, and I am the analyst for that one, breaking down the key matchups, of course, over the Women's Football Alliance. Had some success with that over the course of this year. And thank you for those of you that tuned in to the Women's Football Alliance Road to Canton show, the road that concluded here. 29 teams in Division III began this season with dreams of making it here to Canton, Ohio. 2 of them made it, Capital City and Oklahoma City. Of course, with the parity and the promotion of some teams, certainly love to see different teams and everybody playing this game all across this country, having the opportunity to play for a national championship. Derby City in Arizona last year, Oklahoma City, Capital City here today. 2nd down and 7 for OKC on a drive that started at their own 8-yard line. Handoff this time, change of pace back. Sada Roberts on the carry. She'll race forward onto the Capital City side of midfield. We'll have another whistle that'll blow as the injury whistle blew perhaps earlier. As already coming off the field here is Emily Wilson, but you do like to see the officials make those timeouts when players go down, just to blow those timeouts to make sure that nothing would happen there. So the gain for Sada Roberts on her first carry of the day. It's a gain of 3 yards. Sets up now 3rd down for Oklahoma City. The only 3rd down conversion for either team today, as both of these teams combined, and possibly so, 1 for 18, now 1 for 19 on 3rd down conversions, as Jeffries loses a yard on that play. Sets up 4th down at midfield. And it appears as though when Capital City needed a defensive stop, they got it. They gave up the big play, though, certainly to the running back, Tamira Sweet, but they got the stop that they needed. Now we'll see what Capital City is able to do on offense against this fantastic OKC defense. Jessica Weeks stands at her 20. Chelsea Taylor, the linebacker, Oklahoma City native, Cameron University, her alma mater. She'll kick to Jessica Weeks from Flushing, Michigan. Here on 4th down and 4. Extra protection provided for the punter here as this punts a line drive. Take a friendly roll. This time wisely, Jessica Weeks will let it roll past her to the 22-yard line, where it can be touched first by Elizabeth Jones for OKC, and now Capital City will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line with 7:07 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play of the Division III championship game of the Women's Football Alliance. 66 teams between 4 divisions in the Women's Football Alliance. Mentioned a couple times today, Mile High, Derby City, representing Denver and Louisville, Kentucky. Coming up later today. Tomorrow, the All-American game from teams all across the country will take place 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and then the WFA Pro Division Championship on ESPN2 tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So Capital City, on their last drive, had the offense moving. The big play was the almost busted play for Capital City before a great pass from Elizabeth Speaks found Danielle Goder, Grand Valley State University, and got a big gain, but unfortunately a fumble. The 4th turnover of the day for the Savages cost Capital City in this one. On the carry, gain of 4 yards here to the 26-yard line on 1st down. Again, you see Adams and Malone. Adams, a ball carrier here. He's gotten the lion's share of the carries so far today. We mentioned 6th in Division III in rushing yards in the regular season with 589, 9 touchdowns today. Not today, excuse me, this season. It'd be something if one player had 9 touchdowns in a game. That'd be quite something, wouldn't it? Here's 2nd down and 6. It's Capital City. Clock all important. Still in this football game, but needs that offense so special to start rolling. And nothing there. Big stiff arm delivered by Tiki Malone, but lost in the backfield for a loss of 4 yards on the play. How about that stiff arm from Tiki Malone? So their first contact, second contact, boom. Kaya Quiones for Oklahoma City, feeling the force of that one. The loss of 4 sets up 3rd down and 10 from the 22-yard line. 5:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. OKC still leading 7-0. Turnover battle favoring Oklahoma City as Capital City now with 4 turnovers on the afternoon. On 3rd and 10, Wilson dropping back, pass incomplete. Intended on that quick post route, looking for Daniel Goder, incomplete. We'll bring up another 4th down. So punt formation once more as Emily DeCenzo, Howell, Michigan, Grand Valley State look to punt it away to Tamira Sweet, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Star Spencer, her alma mater. As Sweet, and now going back as well will be Justine McSwain from Yukon, Oklahoma. DeCenzo on the punt. Shanked it. As this time it'll roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and OKC will be given a short field here, 1st and 10 from the Capital City 25-yard line. So with 5:18 remaining, 7-0, OKC out in front. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. It's the 3rd drive now where OKC has gotten the ball inside of the Capital City 35. And so far, just 7 points to show for it. They had one drive that started at 35. They picked up a 1st down on a 4th down. And then on their 2nd attempt on that drive at going for a 4th down, they were unable to convert it and turned over the ball on downs. Of course, the 2nd time that they got the ball inside the 35-yard line of Capital City, just 3 plays was all they needed. Minute 59 off the clock, 15 yards. 7 points on the board as Justine McSwain with the passing reception for the touchdown. Another passing attempt here as Jeffries, all sorts of time, rolling out of the pocket, throwing pass to the left side into traffic, incomplete. Into the hands of Elizabeth Jones, but great coverage on that play. Haley Zyrowski breaks it up, 2nd down. Well, Jeffries had all sorts of time to go for it. You see her giving directions to the receiver Jones there, right in the hands, but well timed on the tackle by the Owasso, Michigan native Haley Zyrowski. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Leading target today for Oklahoma City has been Emily Rankin with 3 receptions, Justine McSwain with 2 receptions as well. Here's 2nd and 10. Jeffries in the backfield, Sweet to her right. Mishandled the snap, able to pick it up as Jeffries. Jeffries will try to throw for it. Jeffries pump fake, incomplete, almost intercepted on that far sideline by Capital City, and great job again by Jeffries keeping that play alive as it was incomplete, almost intercepted by Brittany Adams, a Redford, Michigan native. And as a result, another 3rd down. As the 3rd down struggles continue for both teams. A good pump fake there by Jeffries to give her a little bit extra time. By the time that ball falls incomplete. 5 minutes exactly remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 7-0 our score. Alex Westow with you here from the press box here at beautiful Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 1st to 4. On 3rd and 10. Line to gain the OKC offensive side 15. Jeffries on play action. Jeffries stepping up into the pocket. Wide open, incomplete. A assured touchdown for Justine McSwain, but thought about the rush before making the catch as the ball falls incomplete. 4th down. You see her tapping her helmet there, almost as if it hit her helmet, she's saying. Great play design by OKC, throwing it up over the top on play action. Sure enough, lost division on it. And it falls incomplete. Brittany Adams in coverage for Capital City. Now 4th down. OKC now 2 for 3 on 4th down conversions here. 25-yard line of Capital City. You're certainly going for it here. Again, the defenses ringing their names true. Just 14 points allowed between these two teams in their playoff runs. So far, just 7 points on the board today. On 4th and 10. Jeffries, quick hitter on the running back screen. Trying to spin out of that tackle. No thank you on that one. As good pursuit. Danielle Godare able to tackle Tamira Sweet, the running back from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And that will be short of the line to gain a turnover on downs. And once more, Capital City's defense steps up. But where will their offense be able to do the same? I like that play call too. I like the use of the running back on that screen, but fortunately for OKC, the defense was ready there. So defensive powerhouses continue. It's just a question of which defense will break first, because the only touchdown that we've had so far today was that 15-yard field that OKC was given after the botched punt by Jessica Weeks on the return. Oklahoma City was able to take possession at the 15-yard line for Capital City. Quick pass over the middle from Desiree Jeffries to Justine McSwain. That's been the difference in this ballgame. Capital City with 4 turnovers on the day. When you have 4 turnovers, you'd figure that at that point the game would be lopsided, a blowout. But it hasn't been that, because the defense for Capital City has helped out their offense. On 1st and 10, Wilson steps up, thrown in, almost intercepted by Jasmine Guy. Pass was intended for Danielle Godare. Instead falls incomplete. Almost had it. That time, Guy with great coverage defensively for Oklahoma City. Quarterback Wilson looking to lead her team back. 7-0 our score, 4:40 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Game that has seen defense on display. Emily Wilson from Springport, Michigan, Olivet High School in the backfield with her. Pass thrown incomplete, intended for DeCenzo, batted down at the line. So it brings up 3rd down now. It's Capital City starting to throw the ball a little bit more. Just 1 first down that wasn't by a penalty here today. So a 3rd down and 10 upcoming for Capital City. Playbook still wide open. This time they'll go in the backfield here. Tiki Malone will be the running back. Receiver out to the far side, receiver out to the near side. Extra protection on the line for the quarterback, Kyla Wilson. Florida Institute of Technology. This time they'll hand the ball off. They'll try to carry it there, but going backwards on the carry, Tiki Malone for a loss of 3 yards on the play to the 22-yard line. And once more, Capital City will be forced to punt. So DeCenzo will stay on to punt. As the offensive inconsistencies for Capital City continues. Averaging 300 yards on the ground per game this season, 36 points per game this season. We'll have a whistle that will blow, and I believe it'll have to be Oklahoma City, as they had an extra player on the field, and you saw on the far side of your field and the far side of your screen there, player streaking off onto the sideline, realizing there were too many players on, so it will be a timeout. It will be taken by OKC. They'll have 2 remaining. So the clock will stop here, 3:51 remaining here in this 3rd quarter of play. 7-0 our score. You're from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, on a beautiful July afternoon here in Canton, Ohio. If you've never been to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, it's about an hour south of Cleveland, Ohio, 2 hours to the west of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, about 3 hours to the northeast of Cincinnati, Ohio. Well worth the drive, well worth the flight, of course, as well. So we've got 3:51 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. A 4th and 13, punt team on for Capital City. Back deep to receive for Oklahoma City, Tamira Sweet. Just a 1 returner this time. They did have Justine McSwain back there their last punt. Here's DeCenzo to punt. Got some air under this one. It'll take a roll and then a bounce, as we'll go to the 45, taking a friendly roll for Capital City, as it will roll on the OKC side of midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lady Force, as they'll have it right at midfield with 3:35 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Division II championship coming up later today from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Derby City Dynamite and the Mile High Blaze, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the kickoff for that one in the Division II championship. Derby City out of Louisville, Kentucky, looking to follow the footsteps of the Nevada Storm, who won the Division III championship in 2019. Obviously, with 2020, we did not play any games in the Women's Football Alliance, but the Nevada Storm, a dominant force in Division II last year, they were able to win that championship against the Detroit Dark Angels, now the Detroit Venom, and it moved up to the WFA Pro Division level, where they had a good season. Victories over the Minnesota Vixen will have a whistle blow here, and we're going to have a reset of the play clock. The play clock will be set back up here to 25 seconds. And now the whistle will blow again. As the play clock still being reset and figured out here.
Please reset the game clock for 3:24, please.
We'll be resetting the clock once more, as there's a little bit of confusion, I think, from the officials, as the game clock itself says 3:20, but they do have the broadcast stream on the scoreboard here as well that says 3:24. So I imagine that's where the confusion is coming in here. But Derby City looking to follow the footsteps of Nevada, winning the Division III, then the Division II championship. On the first play, there's a good defensive effort that time by Capital City, as Emily Wilson, listed as a linebacker here on the roster, gets into the backfield of the Lady Force. And a nice tackle for loss there of 3 yards on first down, so it's up 2nd and 13. Great tackle by Wilson. On the end around there, this time OKC using Jasmine Guy on the carry. Of course, for OKC, they were passing, attempting a lot. But now with this lead and the clock winding down here, late stages of this third quarter, the decision perhaps to start using that running game more to control the clock is starting to become more and more prevalent. So here's 2nd and 13. Jeffries, pass looking left side, incomplete. Try to go quick hitter on a quick little return route there for Elizabeth Jones. Threw it over her head, incomplete. Now 3rd down and 13 upcoming. But Nevada had a great season in Division I, knocking off the team that's here from the American Conference, the Minnesota Vixen, after a 26-6 deficit. They were able to rattle off 22 points unanswered and win 28-26. Jeffries on 3rd and 13. Stepping up. Quick hit to the flat. Incomplete. Off the hands of Tamira Sweet with some room to run after that, as that one will fall incomplete. And a 3-and-out for OKC will force the punt. And what's now 5 straight incompletions after some really good passing from Desiree Jeffries. Now 3 straight incompletions on this drive, and then 5 straight incompletions overall. And the punt team will be on once again. Chelsea Taylor to punt. This time 2 returners back deep for Capital City. Jessica Weeks is the deep returner at the 30-yard line.
Number 47, Chelsea Taylor.
As time continues to clock on down. On the punt, fair catch called for and bobbled again as this ball goes careening down there where it can be gathered by OKC. I think they have it for the 5th turnover of Capital City today. And Justine McSwain, if we had a player of the game, she certainly would be deserving of it. Good defensive play here. As you see, catch attempted. A little jump up there by Jessica Weeks forces the ball loose, and McSwain is the one who's able to fall on it, and giving OKC their 5th takeaway of the day with 2:07 remaining here in the third quarter. So now the ball once more spotted at the 25-yard line. The Lady Force were able to take advantage of a missed punt earlier in this game. Will they be able to do so again? Here's Jeffries on the QB keeper. Jeffries blown backwards there on a good tackle coming in from the secondary. Jessica Weeks channeling frustration on special teams into a well-delivered tackle there after a gain, however, of 7 yards on first down. There's a ball to the 18-yard line now. 7-0 OKC leading. 5 Capital City Savages turnovers. Defense has held for the team from Lansing, Michigan. Will be able to hold again. 2nd and 3. Hand off to Sweet. Sweet. Ooh, baby, what a tackle there. Delivered by Tiki Malone after a gain of 2 yards on the play down to the 16-yard line. Sets up 3rd down now. How's that for a stand-up tackle for Tiki Malone for Capital City? Playing some run game there. Sweet on the handoff. Used the truck stick there, shoved her down. Set up 3rd and 1. 50 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Line to gain the 15. Just 1 yard needed here. Sweet in the backfield. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Jeffries stepping up. Had a touchdown on the last 3rd down here. Opportunity for OKC. Rolling out to the right. Looking for another and incomplete. As it was intended for Justine McSwain, who has the only touchdown today, but batted down in some good defensive coverage in that secondary for OKC on offense. But Capital City with a great coverage there. Brittany Adams on the bat down attempt. Again, Jeffries, great job with the legs to be able to roll out of the pocket, keep the play alive. Before that was batted down, just enough contact on that by Brittany Adams to force the incompletion. Once again, 4th and 1. As OKC now 2 for 4 on 4th down opportunities today. We mentioned the oddity of that statistic, more 4th down conversions than 3rd down conversions. And so far, just 1 3rd down conversion between both of these teams. It's been all defense here today from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Whistle blows, timeout called, Oklahoma City.
Timeout.
That'll be their second
Oklahoma
timeout.
City.
They'll have 1 remaining.
The first of the half.
So timeout will be taken. 26 seconds here left to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a brief moment. 7-0 our score. Oklahoma City over Capital City. You're on your home for the Women's Football Alliance National Championships.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Huge 4th down upcoming for the Oklahoma City Lady Force, leading 7-0. On the handoff, Tamara Sweets got it, first down, OKC. But she'll continue to move the pile forward. Look at that drive by Tamara Sweets. First down and goal to go for OKC. And this is all Tamara Sweet. How about that offensive line, too? Great blocking by Shonda Pitts and Abby Munson for OKC, creating that huge hole for Sweet. She attacked it, kept the legs moving. Now the whistle will blow as the clock expires here in the third quarter. And through 45 minutes of play, it's been a good one. 7-0. The Oklahoma City Lady Force lead the Capital City Savages here in the Division III National Championship here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance.
Hello, I'm Franco Harris, and I can't stress enough about the importance of hydration. And a great way to stay hydrated is with Aid Nation. Aid Nation provides electrolyte vitamins and minerals that rapidly absorb into your body to keep you hydrated. So it's important for everybody every day to stay hydrated with Aid Nation.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped.
WFA National Championship brought to you by Aid Nation, the official sports drink of the WFA. On first and goal in the first play of the fourth quarter, pass incomplete, batted at the line by the Capital City Savages, and so incomplete here on goal to go from the 9-yard line. Alex Westhead with you here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, as we're about an hour and a half away from kickoff for the Division II championship between Mile High and the Derby City Dynamite. Of course, still lots to be decided here. Game far from over. 7-0 OKC leading Capital City as the pass from Desiree Jeffries to Justine McSwain, the difference maker so far. But 5 Capital City turnovers may just yet be the rue of the day for the Capital City Savages. And what a touchdown saving play delivered there, as reaching and extending out. I believe it was Haley Zyrowski with the touchdown saving tackle to slow down Tamira Sweet. Set up now 3rd and goal. See there, just that last extension, not by Zyrowski, but instead by Emily Wilson. Sets up 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. Big play coming here. Shotgun formation. On the quarterback keeper on the draw, Desiree Jeffries to the 4-yard line. Here comes arguably the biggest play of the game. Goal to go from the 4. 4th down upcoming. We want to say hello in this moment. An impressive showing. 350 of you watching on YouTube.com and the Women's Football Alliance page. We've had Sioux Falls, South Dakota checking in. We've had a number of people all across the country checking in. We appreciate your viewership and appreciate you letting us know where you're watching from. Here's 4th and goal from the 4. 2 in the backfield this time, as Sade Roberts providing protection. Pump fake delivered here, looking Jeffries. Jeffries can roll it in herself. Touchdown, Oklahoma City. Desiree Jeffries has a throwing touchdown today. She's got a rushing touchdown. It's 13-0 OKC. And when Oklahoma City needed to get points on the board here in this moment, they were able to do so. Jeffries again. How about that protection from the offensive line? Kept the play going. How about that draw as well? Sade Roberts drawing the coverage over on that far side back to the midfield, creating that wide open area. And you see how Jeffries just patted herself on the chest there, the relief of making that play happen, as this point after try will be no good. And simply falling on it will be Justine McSwain. But again, that fall over and that great job of Oklahoma City to pull the coverage over to create that space on that left side allows the opportunity for Desiree Jeffries, who had 6 rushing touchdowns in the regular season, 396 yards on the ground, to find the end zone here and give OKC a 2-possession lead at 13-0. So your drive summary here for this one: 8 plays for OKC, 25 yards was all that drive took. Remember, the botched punt once more by Capital City gave OKC possession at the Capital City 25-yard line. And then 25 yards that took so far in the drive here. I'm going to do some quick math, of course. It took 3 minutes, 45 seconds off the clock. And more importantly, for Oklahoma City, gave them at 14-0, actually correction, 13-0 lead. Once more, 13-0 our score. Here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, 13:22 left to go in regulation time. On a kickoff, Chels Darrow. This ball will go over the head of the returner for Capital City, where it can be picked up once more as it went through Elizabeth Speaks' hands. Speaks tries to spin out of it, and she'll be pulled out of bounds. And for Capital City to try to come back in this football game, they'll have to go the full length of the field to do so, as the ball went through the hands of Speaks. And we started here 1st and 10 for Capital City from the 7-yard line. That ball spinning and off the hands. I thought it went through the hands, but instead off the hands of Elizabeth Speaks. So 1st and 10 for Capital City, 13-13 remaining here in regulation time, and they'll have to go the full length of the field to do so. 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line. It's the first drive for either team today that started inside the 10. The worst field position here for Capital City on the day. They started a drive at the 15-yard line before penalties forced them back inside. That was the first drive for Capital City before the break of the second quarter. Not the second half, but the second quarter. It's going to be tough going here for Capital City. See what they got here in store. It's on 1st and 10. The handoff delivered to Tiki Malone. She'll race to the right side. Gain of 2 to the 9-yard line. Sets up 2nd down and 8. Again, other games coming up. Derby City and the Mile High Blaze coming up 6 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, the big one tomorrow on ESPN2. As the Minnesota Vixen will take on the Boston Renegades. Looking at the chat on YouTube, a lot of people having conversations as far as who they think will win, who they want to win. Certainly looking forward to many more conversations, of course, on YouTube over the course of the remainder of this game. 360 of you currently watching on YouTube. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson out of the gun, rolling to the left side, tries to throw up a pass there, incomplete. Miscommunication from the receiver. I think she was looking for Danielle Godere, but the route simply hit an out route. I think she was looking for the straight go, but instead incomplete. Now 3rd down for Capital City. As 3rd down, has that already been a struggle for Capital City today?
3rd down and 8.
0 for 10 on 3rd down opportunities. Of course, your question here, you have all 3 timeouts. You're probably not thinking about going for it yet, as the clock continues to wind ever closer to zeros. Certainly going to be more convinced to do so. As not ready for it on the play. It just dropped down. And fortunately for the Capital City Savages, Tiki Malone fell on the football. But Kyla Wilson did not look ready for the ball. The ball was snapped. And falling on it was Wilson for a loss back to the 5-yard line. A loss of 4 on the play. 4th down. You see Wilson not even looking at the center. And a great job by Tiki Malone to fall on the football. So DeCenzo on to punt for Capital City. Oklahoma City looking to return. It'll be Justine McSwain again, standing at the 38-yard line on the Capital City side of the field, as this punt from DeCenzo is high into the air. It'll take a roll here to the near sideline towards the Capital City Savages bench, where it can be stopped at the 33-yard line by Jessica Weeks, and that's where OKC will take over 1st and 10 from the Capital City 33-yard line. And now 2 straight drives for OKC, where the offense had the ball on the Capital City side of the field. Actually, if we even go to the previous drive before the missed punt and the botched punt by Capital City, even there, 3 straight drives now, actually 4 straight drives, where Oklahoma City has started on the Capital City side of midfield. So 11:21 remaining in regulation time. 1st and 10 for OKC from the 33-yard line. As they'll approach the line, figuring run-heavy offense the rest of the way. Desiree Jeffries has Sade Roberts in the backfield to her right. 2 receivers right, 2 left. On the handoff, Roberts on the carry. Roberts for looking something left side, couldn't find it, cutting back right side. Roberts with a stiff arm there at the 30. Nicely done by Sade Roberts on the stiff arm delivered, not once but twice. First to Brittany Adams She extends the play further when it looked like she was going nowhere. Great cutback by the linebacker from Ardmore, Oklahoma, Platte Wright College, to make something out of nothing there. She looked to the left side, saw nothing, cut back, created something first with that beautiful stiff arm to the face, however, but a beautiful stiff arm delivered to Danielle Godare and then to Brittany Adams to keep that play alive. Ball now spotted on the 27-yard line, so a gain of 6, and it looked like it was going to be a loss. Jeffries able to hand it off to Sweet. Sweet to the left side. Sweet has a first down. Sweet spun down backwards the other way by Elizabeth Speaks on the tackle for Capital City. Be a first down here for OKC as they'll move the chains down to the 20-yard line. Seen that direct snap a couple of times from OKC here today. Rather than snapping it to the quarterback, Desiree Jeffries, it's gone to Tamira Sweet, and it's done some really great things offensively for OKC. So the Lady Force now with their 4th first down of this half. In fact, if we take a look here at the first half of play, OKC with 3 first downs, 7 total first downs in this contest. Capital City, by comparison, just 1. On the keeper, Jeffries. Jeffries spun down. Good recovery there by Capital City. On the tackle is giving to her first was Danielle Godare from Wixom, Michigan, Grand Valley State. Be a loss of 2 on the play, second down and 12 to the 22-yard line. .381, .390 now, our viewers on YouTube. Once more, if you haven't done so already, Women's Football Alliance on YouTube. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when we go live. 9:03 remaining here in regulation time. 13-0 OKC is our score. Justine McSwain with a receiving touchdown. And then a rushing touchdown on the QB keeper by Desiree Jeffries. That's been our scoring so far. 7 seconds on the play clock. On the handoff, Sweet. They'll attack the left side. Sweet still looking to make something happen here. Able to keep it alive, keep the clock churning. But a team tackle there by Capital City as Emily DeCenzo on the contact forces the loss by Sweet back to the 24-yard line. That'll bring up another third down. Still looking for a third down conversion for one of these teams here in the second half. That creates a first down, not necessarily a touchdown. In fact, the 2 third down conversions so far today for both of these teams combined has been Oklahoma City's touchdowns. The pass was on a third down, and then the rushing touchdown was on a third down. But for a first down, and just a first down, no third down conversions have been successful today. But if you're OKC, if you're taking third down conversions that result in touchdowns, I think you'll be okay with that. On the draw play, Jeffries. Jeffries raced up the middle, got back to the 21-yard line for a gain of 3 yards. But the feast or famine of third downs continue for OKC. They'll bring up 4th down and 11. We'll have the whistle that will blow. It should be the first time out taken by Capital City. It'll be their first. They'll have 2 remaining here with 7:43 left to go in regulation time here in the Division III National Championship, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Alex Westdale with you here from high atop the press box at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Division II game to follow in just about an hour's time between Derby City and Mile High, Minnesota-Boston tomorrow. Somebody in the chat mentioned, of course, the Hall of Fame talent that is Red Bryant, the defensive tackle for the Minnesota Vixen, 50 years of age, and still being a dominant force on the defensive line for Minnesota. Of course, she'll be playing in another championship game, consecutive championship game appearances for Minnesota, still looking for their first championship in all appearances. The state of Minnesota would be looking for their first football championship at the professional level in any competition. Minnesota with many collegiate championships for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, but none at the professional level. Here's 4th and 11. Offensively for OKC. Looks like they'll go for it here, and why wouldn't you go? Here's a quick pass thrown, incomplete. No flag flies. It was a bit tied up that time. Was Justine McSwain looking for the pass, so a turnover on downs for OKC will give Capital City a chance. 7:39 left to go here in regulation time. 13-0 OKC. Justine McSwain receiving touchdown. Desiree Jeffries rushing touchdown. That's been our scoring so far. As a 0 for the Capital City Savages, still unbroken. For one of the best offenses in Division III, 36 points per game. That's 4th best. And an offensive yards per game, 295.7, 8th best. Put it simply, Capital City has not had it offensively today. And they're running out of time to do so. But it's been all defense today. No matter what side of the aisle you're cheering on today, have to admire the defensive efforts for both of these teams. Stuffing the run, limiting big plays. It's been fantastic defense. Hard-nosed football. On 1st and 10, intercepted, taken back the other way. Chelsea Taylor takes the 6th Capital City interception turnover of the day and turns it into 6. Chelsea Taylor, the linebacker from Cameron University, with the dagger as OKC now leads 19-0. See eye contact there all the way. How about that jump by Chelsea Taylor, reading the route perfectly, jumping it to the end zone and taking it for 6 points. They started to throw, and that ball right there into the hands of the punter and linebacker, and now point scorer Chelsea Taylor for 6 points. But put the offense onto the field, go for 2 points here for a touchdown that for the Oklahoma City Lady Force may have just clinched their first championship in the Women's Football Alliance. 2-point conversion, Jeffries with time, rolling out to the right, looking to keep this play alive, will not. As a 2-point conversion, no good on the tackle for Capital City, Elizabeth Speaks. Speaks her name onto the defensive side of things. So the 2-point conversion will be no good. It'll make it 19-0 OKC here with 7:31 remaining in regulation time. 6 turnovers committed by the Capital City Savages in this championship game. As you see on your screen, the Mile High Blaze starting to get ready to go for the Division II championship game to follow. Estimated time for that was about 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's about 4:52 now, so that start time may have to be changed, but we'll wait and see. Of course, if you're looking for updates on that game, you can head to the Women's Football Alliance Facebook page at Women's Football Alliance. All you gotta do is type that into the search bar, hit that like button, you'll be notified as well. It's changes that happen. Capital City needs a big return here. 7:31 remaining, 19-0. OKC over the Capital City Savages. Doro to kick off. It'll bounce here to the near side. It can be taken by Elizabeth Speaks. Speaks looking for space. Speaks trying to spin out a 1 tackle before the Lady Force. Able to take her down there after a gain to the 32-yard line. That's where Capital City starts this drive, 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. And there'll be an offsides call that'll be assessed to Oklahoma City here. As attack on 5 yards from the end of the kick. So instead of the 31, that'll put the ball at the 36. Conventional wisdom say that you may not go to the pass right away after throwing an interception. Capital City, they don't have a choice anymore. Need big plays, need them now. Oklahoma City, who's played a relatively clean game. That's just their 3rd penalty assessed for 35 yards. Mentioned Capital City, 6 penalties for 40 yards. 5 of the 6 penalty flags have been procedural items. So here's 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. Wilson throwing, pass complete, right side. Elizabeth Speaks able to stay in bounds, spinning out of a tackle onto the Oklahoma City side of the field. Look at this run by Speaks as she's across the 40 to the 37-yard line, and a 1st down for Capital City. How's that for a play to Elizabeth Speaks? Wilson, this is what we expected to see out of Wilson. all game long. She found Elizabeth Speaks to the right-hand side for a big play. Moves the chains here, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. And that's just the second first down for Capital City in this contest. Savages approach the line. This clock continues to wind, 6:40 and counting. Man coverage shown here by OKC. Receiver in motion, Speaks goes to the left side. Looking for Speaks again in the flat. Off of her hands, incomplete. Capital City looking for a flag on the contact. They will not get it as it was intended for Speaks. Guerra on coverage. Set up 2nd down, 10. Mile High Blaze, Capital City, Oklahoma City, Derby City. A lot of cities represented here in Canton, Ohio. Minnesota, Boston. Of course, the All-American game. The 8 teams that will be taken to the field here. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The shadows of greatness, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 2nd down and 10. Wilson with one in the backfield. It's Adams. Pass thrown into the flat, and it's intercepted again. Taking it all the way down the end zone towards 6 points on the 7th turnover for Derby City's good friends, Capital City. Shabria Irby with a pick 6, 25-0 OKC. Well-timed jump delivered by the quarterback, Desiree Jeffries. Fell into the hands of Shabria Irby as Capital City. Turnover bug has been prevalent. Now 7 turnovers on the day. 2 defensive touchdowns, 2 offensive touchdowns allowed. As OKC will attempt the extra point here. Chelsea Taylor's 1 for 2 so far today. So 7 points on the day for Taylor. This one is a little bit under on it. Chance for the return here, but nothing doing there as it'll be gotten to by DeCenzo, but she'll be tackled in the end zone. So back-to-back drives for the Capital City Savages that are interceptions that are taking the distance. As first it was Chelsea Taylor with the pick 6. Followed up on that drive right there by Shabria Irby, the All-American for Oklahoma City, as that makes it 25-0. Oklahoma City leading over the Capital City Savages here with 6:14 left to go remaining in regulation time. It was a defensive showcase for both teams throughout the 4th quarter before, really, Oklahoma City able to take advantage of those last couple of plays. That was it. That's been the difference. So OKC here ready to kick off once more. As time starting to run down on the season for Capital City and Oklahoma City. Speaks back deep to receive this kick upcoming from Chelsea Durrow. On a line drive. Take a friendly bounce. Speaks unable to field it cleanly. Now is able to do so to the 25 to the 30. Speaks trying to make something happen here. Speaks staying alive to the 36-yard line before the force collides around her. And she'll get to the 37-yard line, and Capital City will start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. I'd like to, for a minute, revisit the keys to the game presented by Wilson, the official football of the Women's Football Alliance. I'd like to go back to those keys of the game for a minute. For OKC, it was careful inside the 20. They ran 7 plays inside the 20-yard line, where safeties have been a problem for OKC this season. They've looked great inside the 20 here today. Additionally, no mercy, no time in the backfield for the Capital City runners. Really haven't given Wilson much time to throw the football. They haven't given Adams or Speaks the opportunities to really get those lanes going. OKC has shown no mercy. On the other side, for Capital City to get pressure. They haven't. Quite simply, the OKC offensive line has done a great job of giving time to Desiree Jeffries to be able to extend a play and to be able to make things happen. So as a result, OKC up big. Here's a big run for the first time. Adams on the carry. Adams to the 40 to the right side, and the angle forced out of bounds there on the tackle by Justine McSwain. But a big play for Capital City moves the chains forward, and first down. So the ball will be spotted at the 26-yard line. Another first down here for Capital City as a big play from Brittany Adams. Able to move the chains forward, working into Oklahoma City territory. And the All-American not going down without a fight on the big play. As a whistle will blow, and we'll have a timeout here taken by OKC. That'll be their last. The clock will stop with 5:12 remaining here in regulation time. OKC 25 and Capital City 0. All pressure here delivered, as it's been touchdowns from the offense to start it, but then defensive pick sixes and have carried the day for OKC as they lead 25-0 here with 5:12 remaining. Again, 361 of you watching on YouTube.com. And again, thanks for tuning in for today's broadcast. We hope to stick around, of course, for the broadcast of the Division II game, Mile High Derby City. Coming up here in just a little while, 6 o'clock Eastern, the original scheduled time. We'll see about that now. Here's 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line on the handoff. Looking to make something here. Elizabeth Speaks as she'll race back to the original line of scrimmage. Not much more than that, as they may give her a spot to the 25-yard line. Sets up 2nd down and 9. 5 minutes exactly remaining here in regulation time. It's that pressure from OKC on this offense. More importantly, for Oklahoma City, the question was going to be their passing, at least statistically, averaging just under 40 yards per game in the air. They've exceeded that now. Actually, passing was their first touchdown. So they've broken the mold. Carried it appearing 4:27 away from victory. On the carry here on 2nd and 9. Tiki Malone further ahead to the 26-yard line. 21, excuse me. It'll be Malone itself is still down after the gain of 4, so we'll have an injury timeout here with 4:15 remaining in regulation time. As there's players now moving to the sideline. We'll step aside. 4:09 remaining in regulation. 25-0 our score. OKC looking to protect the 0 against Capital City. Here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance, as working her way back to the near sideline, Tiki Malone. And we'll have a big 3rd and 4 upcoming here. It's one of those things where we've seen injuries play a role in today's game. Both teams have had a player carted off the field. It is balmy on the turf playing surface here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Got 4 minutes, 2 seconds remaining here in regulation time. Wilson on 3rd and 4. Fakes the handoff on play action, looking into the flat. Pass complete, but nothing doing there. Well read by Elizabeth Jones for OKC to stop Elizabeth Speaks after no gain on the running back screen. And as a result, the whistle will blow. We will have, I believe, a timeout for injury officially, as Speaks lost her helmet, now working her way back to the sideline. See her grabbing the mouth there. Yep, and there's the blood coming out of the mouth. So it'll be 4th down and 6 upcoming. The line to gain will be the 16-yard line of OKC. It's perhaps last opportunity for Capital City. 2 timeouts remaining. looking to get out of the scoreboard for the first time today. Here's 4th and 6. Play attempted, nothing. Doing there for the Capital City Savages as Wilson on the keeper. Tackled down there by the All-American for Oklahoma City, Shabria Darby, Newcastle High School. And that'll be a turnover on downs that will allow OKC to take over. 1st and 10 from the, let's see where they spot the ball. It'll be the 24-yard line, where OKC will take over 1st and 10. There were 2:53 remaining in regulation time. 25-0 our score. If you're joining us late or expecting to be tuning into the beginnings of the Derby City Mile High contest, here's how we've gotten to our score where we've had. It was a defensive struggle throughout much of this game. So the 25-0 score that you see on your screen really isn't indicative of the play style that we've seen so far throughout this one. As it was scoreless throughout the first quarter before, off of a botched punt, one of 7 Capital City turnovers on the day, a passing touchdown from Desiree Jeffries to Justine McSwain. As we'll have to delay a game that'll get called on OKC, but with the goal being winding the clock down as much as possible, they'll be okay with that penalty. Just their 4th on the day. It was 7-0 our score at the half, as the teams traded punts and traded interceptions into the 3rd quarter. And the turnover bug really started to strike for Capital City on the other side of it. They had 3 first-half turnovers, now 4 second-half turnovers. As on the carry on 1st and 15, Sweet able to get to the 23-yard line. So that'll be a gain on that one of 3 yards. It'll be Randy Brown on the tackle for Capital City. 2nd and 11 now. But then ultimately the difference maker for OKC. Pick sixes for Chelsea Taylor and Jabria Irby. As OKC 2 minutes 5 seconds away from their first championship in the Women's Football Alliance. Here's 2nd and 11. Loaded backfield now. Certainly no reason to pass here. Sweet with a nice jump cut. As Sweet trying to escape play there, unable to do so. She got back to the original line of scrimmage, not much further. So it'll be 3rd and 11 from the 23 here. Capital City with both 2 timeouts remaining. Certainly no desire to take them at this point. As the defense for Capital City so strong the first 3 quarters of play before it felt like everything fell apart for the team from Lansing, Michigan. And this great season for Capital City. So close to that championship. Ultimately fall by the wayside for the Savages. Here's 3rd and 11. Line to gain the 34. 1:05 remaining now, regulation time. Desiree Jeffries with 2 in the backfield. Has Sweet and Roberts with her. Handoff is to Sweet, looking for the left side. Sweet found the outside edge, has a first down. Sweet moving forward with a big collision. Still moving forward down the far sideline. Here's a big play for OKC. Can she keep it alive? No! A great tackle by Jessica Weeks, shy of the touchdown. First down for OKC, but credit to Jessica Weeks, not giving up with the score what it is and making a great tackle. And how about Tamira Sweet, too, lowering the shoulder to create that separation on what could have been a 77-yard touchdown before Jessica Weeks, a wide receiver from Flushing, Michigan, says no. And that's effort coaches love to see. That not giving up on a play. Excellent job by Weeks. Excellent job by Sweet on the run. Here's goal to go from the 1. 16 seconds remaining here in regulation time. To the backfield, direct snap, bobbled briefly, and ball's down. I think Capital City has it. I think Jasmine Lenoir fell on the football, and I think Capital City will have it. And the game will be over anyway. And for the first time as members of the Women's Football Alliance, the Oklahoma City Lady Force are champions of Division III. The Kool-Aid bath is there, and boom! Lou Ross III caps off a perfect season in his first season at helm of the OKC Lady Force. They did it all three sides of the football today. As scoring happened from Justine McSwain on the wide receiver catch and touchdown that started it. Desiree Jeffries with a touchdown as well on the ground. And then 2 pick sixes by the Oklahoma City Lady Force. And our KT Tape plays of the game, brought to you, of course, by KT Tape, was the one that really made the difference and put the game out of the reach of the Capital City Savages. A pick six by the number 47, Chelsea Taylor, reading the play perfectly and taking it to the house to cap off what was a fantastic game all around, all three aspects of it for the champions of Division III, the Oklahoma City Lady Force. As they too cap off the perfect season. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, there was a television movie of the Oklahoma City Dolls in 1981. Perhaps these Oklahoma City Lady Force will have a movie made of themselves as well. 25-0 our final as Oklahoma City caps off the perfect season and the shutout as well over the Capital City Savages in the WFA Division III National Championship here on your home for the Women's Football Alliance National Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for both of our participants in the Division III WFA National Championship. And now, your 2022 WFA Division III National Champions with an undefeated 9-0 record. The Oklahoma City Lady Force. The WFA would like to congratulate the Oklahoma City Lady Force on winning the 2022 WFA Division III National Championship. On behalf of Tom Benson Stadium, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and the Women's Football Alliance, we'd like to thank everybody for attending, and please drive home safely.